Sip Squad Fly Boys, that's my logo. You already know though. It's PBS and Nation Gang, my niggas getting dodo. You pussy niggas, Frodo's fucking hobos looking so-so. 4K shot in slow-mo, haters salty like a dobo. But Coco, we get loco. Hit them cashes, so no. You rap it, then we live it, cause we Stokely on the promo. We classy, Freddy, blasty, bitches, why you acting sassy? Can't stop and I won't stop. Guess I'm Diddy to your Cassie. No shiny suits, I'm spazzing. You ashy, I'm so flashy. Talking out your ass, goddammit, I'm just speaking cash shit. Haters get the shake it like they mama named the cash shit. Father, all these rap wrestlers pay homage to me bastards. Sorry, I don't claim you. That's just what this fame do. Oh, you ain't down with Dream Team. Middle finger.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the momentous occasion that is today. Today is Top Rope Wrestling Talk's 2-year anniversary, second birthday.
Hopefully we don't hit the terrible twos.
Before I introduce everyone, I started this group, and I brought Dom in, and we kept it going for as long as we could.
Wow.
And we kind of died for a good 6-7 months. We were dead.
At least. And
some events occurred. That's all I'm going to say. And Dom said, hey, Dom messaged me and said, hey, let's get the band back together. So I did. And he brought in none other than Grandma Wendy, the first lady of Top Rope Wrestling Talk. Wendy, you've been nothing but amazing and done a lot for this group.
We but you.
I can't thank you enough.
You humble me.
Yeah, seriously, humble.
And the newest member of the admin team, our shirt guru, logo extraordinaire, the man himself, Evan. Dude, thank you for coming
everything.
In. Everything.
Just being a fan in the first place, because that kept us going.
To be here.
There were not a lot of people. There were not many people watching this show to begin with. And you were always leaving comments and questions and wanting to come on the show, and it made us want to keep doing it. And then you got on the show, and it just, I mean, from there we just got hyped. It was like, never mind, like we're doing this every week, all week. I don't give a fuck as long as Evan's there.
Yeah.
I don't get hype. I stay hype.
Right.
So that's none other than evil Evan. Thank you again. And on my screen, he's to the left of me. On his screen, I have no idea where I am.
I don't even know. But hugs, wherever you are, dude, hugs.
Hugs all around. But
down below, hugs, wherever, dude.
All around.
Yeah.
But
consensual hugs.
On a serious note, back to this, I met Dom through a mutual friend. I kind of brought him on board.
You really did.
And he's kind of stuck around and stuck with me through everything. So
like a bad
you guys do not understand the amount of effort that he puts into what we do. Records the shows, keeps Facebook going when we're all busy with work or doing something. He's at work and he's doing that. He gets away with it at work. He set up the YouTube. He dude, I just can't thank you enough. Like, I may have created it, but dude, you're running it.
Yeah.
You're running it. I created it. You're running it. And I can't thank you enough. I appreciate it.
I got you, dude. You know that.
So
you're gonna make me cry over here, dude.
I was about to say, hope you brought some tissues today. Folks at home, run and grab some tissues. It's not too late.
Just feelings.
Yeah.
Oh,
we're all gonna feel it today.
So on an amazing birthday gift to Top Rope Wrestling Talk, and it actually kind of worked out crazy because I forgot that it was the birthday today.
Right?
Every single one of us is wearing something that I have been saying we are going to get. Right here, you see it first. Top Rope Wrestling Talk merch. It is a thing.
Oh, it's happening.
It is happening. So this is how you can find our merch. Go on Facebook. Look for Sugar Pop Design. That is my sister's page. She's the one that makes these shirts for us. And
does a
go
damn
on
good
there,
job.
message her. A damn good job. Message her or say something on the page. She'll get back with you, and you guys work from there. We've got a bunch of different logos to choose from. You don't have to just do the MLW logo. We have pretty much all of our logos available for shirts, and
for those listening in podcast form only who are missing out on the amazing video, you were all wearing logo shirts, TRWT. You guys don't see it. You guys need to be watching on YouTube, but go check them out. Get one for yourselves.
Yes. Buy our merch. Go to Sugar Pop Design on Facebook. Find that group, message, and get your Top Rope Wrestling Talk shirt.
Yes.
Get your merch. I've been promising, and
we all have at this point.
Yeah. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It has happened,
and it's happening on our birthday. It can't get
of all days.
Honestly, my shirt, I think everybody's shirt wasn't even supposed to come till tomorrow, and they all showed up by today, which just happened to be our record day and Top Rope's birthday. So, coincidence? I think not.
Felipe just said, "Shut up and take my money."
Sugar
we
Pop,
will
got you.
We will gladly take your money,
and we will be setting up a website and everything else.
Yes, we are
money,
working.
Please.
Yes,
bring it. We need it. The show doesn't pay for itself. Okay, so Brucey already did the intros. We don't really.
Yeah, I did the intros. We didn't get the soundboard for the intros today because I got all mushy gushy and shit.
And we love it.
Oh, that's better.
Yeah,
better.
Yeah.
We can always do the soundboard next week. I'm just getting in the live feed so I can see the comments now.
No sound effects, just the sound of our hearts beating for our fans.
Yeah, even Nikki's saying they're made to order. They definitely are, and they're great. Like I love the R. The R is just dope on this shirt. It's so shiny.
On yours, like I have a regular R, but that's okay. It's still cool. It's still extraordinary.
Mine is bright and shiny, and I like it.
And because I didn't say this before when we were talking about it, so you guys know, our shirts from small to large are $25. And extra large and up is $27, and we charge shipping. The more shirts that get bought, the more of a chance we'll be able to do away with shipping. But right now, where we're small, we're getting started. We got a shipping fee. Oh, sorry, guys.
Nikki
Brucey, show them the back of your shirt, Brucey.
Yeah, that's what your sister just said. Show them the back of the shirt.
Spin.
So he got
a good one.
My sister loves me.
Vuelta.
Can you see it?
High class, baby.
Yeah. Where's that? Oh, it's hot. Dude, we need it.
I just took the
Oh, that's hot. That's hot.
It's okay. We get it.
Oh, that's hot. That's hot.
It's hot. Mm-hmm.
One more time.
Oh, that's hot. That's hot.
There it is.
I love that, man.
There we go. I'm back. Okay, now I can turn it off. Premature mutation. Yes, back to the matters at hand. I'm so overwhelmed. Like the feels, the merch, the birthday. It's great.
There's a lot of feels this week, man.
Love you
but a lot of those feels weren't very good. So this is like a nice, uplifting kind of moment.
Yes.
Like we need that in wrestling right now.
I think it's in life in general.
And just life in general. Yes, we do, Wendy.
As I eat my feelings.
It's okay. I'm drinking
They're
mine.
Happy feelings.
So
they're happy feelings.
They're happy feels. This is a celebratory Yingling Lager. That's what this is.
Yes.
Tastes like victory.
It does. Sweet victory.
I guess we should probably start out with basically this week in wrestling. I know like Brucey and Evan and I covered SmackDown a little bit on Speaking Out, but like might as well start off with Raw because it wasn't half bad this week, to be honest. I know Wendy and I watched it. I know you two might have.
Didn't they call it like Night of Champions?
It was like Night of Champions or something like that. Because like they had pretty much every title get defended. Yeah.
Yeah, just about.
Just about.
Okay.
Maybe
Pretty
not the
much.
U.S. They had Apollo and Shelton again, but I don't know if he got a title match.
I think Apollo did. I don't remember. I had to leave like partway through, so like I didn't get to see all of it. But
There were some good moments in it. I do love the way they're kind of pushing MVP to the forefront in Raw, like letting him cut promos and try to recruit more people. And now he started this whole back and forth with Apollo, like trying to convert him and get him to come in and join the fold. And if he won't, he'll just have Lashley come put him in a full Nelson, and knock his ass out.
Yeah, Felipe made a point. He said, personally, it has been a little hard sometimes to watching wrestling since all the speaking out started. Yeah.
That's true.
But I still watch too, even though it is because it's like at this point we're all like, could he? Could she?
I don't even think about it.
Like, we don't.
If you saw my video or you've heard me talk before, like wrestling is my escape from most of the shit that goes on in the world. So when I'm watching it, I'm just watching it. I'm just looking at it. I'm going through the matches. I'm trying to see what I like, what I don't. I'm not even thinking about like maybe this motherfucker will get busted next week. Not even on my mind. It's like, nah, I need to get away from this crap.
But the way I've been seeing it, WWE, AEW, they have their lawyers, they have their guys doing their homework for them. They're suspending the right guys. They're firing the guys with their incontrovertible evidence. So I'm not going to put it to like that, what they say, the jury of the public, and I'm going to let them figure out and sort out the bad guys and the good guys and have faith that the guys that I'm seeing on TV are safe and that these guys, they've asked them, hey, any skeletons in your closet, anything going to come out. And they're, you know what I mean? I have to believe that WWE and AEW are actively checking their roster up and down to proactively catch them before, Twitter has another lynching for these guys. So, like I said, it's been hard, but I have to have in good faith that what I'm watching are the good guys, that the ones in the ring are the safe characters that I can get behind. So,
right.
That's the
you either got to
to
think, like, either these guys are good or eventually they will be weeded out. And you just go along from there. Like, you just watch whatever's put in front of you. And Raw actually had some good moments. Like you did have the Charlotte and Asuka rematch, but then you also had Nia injure Charlotte.
Yes.
Before and after the match, like went back after her ass. And then there's been reports this week that Charlotte has decided to take a break and use some personal time and possibly have surgery. They didn't say on what, but I guess now all these people, including us, who have said 68, 69 title matches, that's enough. Like, we need somebody else. Maybe she's going to grant us that wish all by herself. Just, okay, I'm out. I'll see you at Royal Rumble next year. Deuces.
I mean, as much as I hated that rant that she did, we're like, I've been here 365 days a year. You got to give the girl credit. She has been there every week throughout this whole run.
Oh, no, I give her all the credit in the world. I just feel like Charlotte is one of those women who, like her or not, she probably got to that level in the women's division that, like, in the men's division, Andre the Giant did, or even Taker, where you knew they could pretty much be champ whenever they wanted to. Therefore, they didn't need to be, because they were above
larger than life characters.
Yeah, they didn't need that title. Their character and their body of work was all they needed to get people interested and get over. And Charlotte has gotten to that level, but they just keep sticking her in title matches anyway.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly with what you're saying there, Dom. The only thing is the division needs Charlotte, because without her, we've seen Asuka literally has there's no contenders for her. There's literally no one in that division that you can see that run with that belt. We had that discussion about Natty. Could she do it? And other than Natty, we couldn't really come up with another name that would be their marquee woman.
I'll give you a name.
Division.
I'll give you a name right now, and it's somebody she's already faced. It's somebody she's had great matches with. She just hasn't had them on a main roster, and that's Shayna Baszler, who has basically been taken off TV because Vince doesn't see it. I don't know why, considering Baszler and Ronda Rousey have the same sort of background. But I guess since she's not blonde not blonde, not hot.
It's like we said last time.
Sexy to Vince McMahon.
Now, what about this rivalry for Asuka that tore up NXT for 3 straight takeovers. Ember Moon.
Where's she
when
been?
She comes back.
She's been out injured, hasn't
She's
she?
hurt. She's
A
hurt.
torn Achilles.
Yeah.
May never wrestle again on a backstage on one of the appearances you mentioned. Yeah, it's
that
one
sucks.
of those, Achilles. Once that's gone, man, you can't walk, you can't run. What are you gonna do? Horrible accident. And the sad thing is, it happened when doing a 24/7 title chase backstage segment.
Yes.
Yeah.
Slipped, fell, and.
Oh, yeah, I remember that now. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
And I love what Brian just said. He'd probably add Roddy Piper or Jake the Snake to people who didn't need a world title to get over.
Yeah,
I was just getting ready to say that.
Without a doubt, dude. Without a doubt. No, they'd be on the list too. Those were just the two names that came to my head when I came to try to describe Charlotte. But Jake the Snake, Roddy, yes, definitely.
Like if I can really stop and think, like the last real era in per se WWE, because they're really the only one that's had eras in the business right now. But if you stop and think about it, like the Attitude Era and possibly the Ruthless Aggression Era was the last 2 eras to ever have wrestlers like that don't need a title and can get over. You had The Rock, you had Stone Cold, you had all of these guys, and they didn't need titles. You had Eddie, you had Benoit back then. You had these guys. They didn't need to be friggin'. Nowadays, if you don't have a title, nobody likes you.
Well, I also think there's a lot of ego involved because it's like, there's guys like Bork, for instance, who think they need a title and that'll get people to like him. And the problem with that is most people don't like him to begin with. So title doesn't really matter. That's the opposite side of the coin. Like, we're not going to like you regardless because...
Who says to bring Rhea up?
Yes. And Felipe left us a question that he wanted to get us to answer later. We can definitely... I'll swing back to that. I'm trying to memorize it now.
Bounce back.
Should I write it down? You're writing it down?
Nice.
Okay, I thought about it too.
That's what
Great minds, homegirl.
Great
Great minds.
Yeah,
Yes,
girl.
thank you. And we will
I'm
answer
just here
that,
for the
Felipe.
party hats.
But yeah, Charlotte getting hurt and the reports coming out was a big moment. They had some nice matches. I mean, when they finally had a world tag team title match between the Profits and the Raiders, it was damn good. And the Profits finally got over the hump, which was damn good. I just felt like that could have happened at Backlash, and it would have probably been a bigger moment than on a Monday Night Raw, just randomly after a pay-per-view.
Agreed.
And we could have avoided the ninjas, even though I guess
the weird tentacle monster in the dumpster.
although technically one of the ninjas is now 24/7 champion.
Yeah.
So congratulations to Zawa, I guess.
The leader.
I guess.
It's like you won a championship, but then you had to have this shit gimmick to win it when you're clearly a great fucking wrestler on your own.
Felipe just said the thing is that today there are too many damn titles.
Yeah,
True.
Definitely.
I can't argue that.
I like the magic that they've been working with that women's tag, jumping from show to show, making it be a little more prestigious. It makes that pool of contenders a little bit larger, and I would definitely like to see them do that with the men's tag belts. We've seen New Day and Usos and the same recycle stuff on SmackDown. Now, how about we let them bounce over to NXT and give someone else a chance? How about we see them go on Raw and it just be one set of belts that goes to all the shows?
No, I'm with you. And I got to be honest, the other thing that besides the matches, the other thing that I loved was the Edge promo. He came back, cut this promo where he basically said, "You brought the rated R superstar out in me," and he went off. And while he was going off, I was sitting there like, yeah. It's like, this is the guy I wanted to see in the first place. I don't care if you have grit. Take it all out and bring the R back. See the R right here? Right over here?
Somewhere. One nipple.
See the R? Bring the R and rated R superstar back. That's what we want. That's what we need. And so to see him kind of like dig that back out and just go off, you're just like, man, that tricep injury needs to heal like now. Right now.
Yeah. That's the only caveat. The asterisk at the end that said to be continued in 8 months.
Right, to be continued in 6 to 8 months.
Passion and intensity, and it's
get ready for like.
I just hope one, people don't forget about it, and two, it's actually more thrilling than these last 2 matches have been.
Oh, I think
matches were.
If we get the actual rated R superstar back, it's going to be more entertaining than anything we've seen from him so far, except for maybe the Rumble where he popped up, because that was fucking great.
That was a great pop right there.
That was a great moment.
I'd love to see them like do a quick a shout out throwback to old Attitude Era Edge when he first used to come out in the rafters in the building. He'd be wearing like that trench coat and the sunglasses.
Yeah.
And he'd be like,
You think you know me?
You know me.
He'd be like sitting there all alone. He could be like watching Randy Orton's matches, like in the back of the PC, like all creepy, like and that Widow's Peak thing up there, have up there where they Mojo jumped, or what's his name, Gronk jumped off of. Have Edge just up there in his trench coat watching creepy, like, something. Because if you can't be in the ring, we got to keep this intense. We got to keep it going because
you're absolutely right.
What, 6 to 8 months possibly?
That's what I mean. I don't know if he's going to continue here and there with these promos or if they're going to do something, but that one on Monday night was fire. Yeah. I was like, oh my God, he's back. Like, Robert he's really back.
Robert brought up a good point. But Edge is a rated R superstar as a babyface. Can it work?
No.
Yes.
Mm-mm.
It worked against
rated R. The rated R.
It worked against Del Rio for the world title.
Before the rated R was more about the raunchiness and about the sexuality with Lita and her
that's where it
shirts that she would be wearing. Now, what if you hones the rated R-ness more to a violent side, like a cool anti-hero where he's not afraid to be,
like a tweener.
Dirty.
Like a tweener kind of guy. Yeah.
It could work, a little intensity. It's needed.
And if we can slip back to SmackDown for a second, because this is well-deserving, we got to hand out the
Hello Nurse
award, and it definitely goes to SmackDown superstar Dana Brooke for this right here.
Any second.
Cause damn.
Hello Nurse.
One more time.
Hello Nurse.
I mean, wow. I mean, it's a party. You got to have girls in bikinis, and who better than Dana Brooke if you're watching right now, and if you're listening to us on podcast, Fox Den Productions got you. Just search for us on YouTube. That's all I gotta say. But yeah, that was.
While you're there.
I think it was Dave from our group who posted that, and he was like, "Oh, hi Dana. Did you know my name is Dave too?" And I started laughing.
I died.
Oh God! Thank you, Dave. Keep fighting. That's all we gotta say to.
Keep shooting that shot, homie.
Yeah, for real.
Definitely.
You only miss the shots you don't take.
And if we could skip ahead a little bit to Tuesday night, Impact itself was interesting, but the biggest moment for me was the whole D'Lo Brown segment where he sat there backstage and he was talking, and he jumped up out of his chair and he started to walk away. And they zoom in on the chair, and you get what is clearly his old Aces and Eights vest on the back of the chair. And that's how the show ends. And again, this was another one of those Edge moments where like, oh shit, are they coming back?
Now, if you want to link that to someone that is a free agent, that would be the big LG.
I was just about to go there, actually. Say, like, if they were to make a comeback, who would you put in Aces and Eights?
Well, Luke Gallows is the only real free agent out there that was in Aces and Eights because Bully Ray's in ROH.
Right. Yeah. But ROH isn't exactly doing
Devon's retired and working backstage.
Mr. Anderson's still around.
Yeah, he still works for NWA, but we'll touch on that.
He might work for NWA.
We'll touch on that in a little bit.
Yeah, we're going to touch on that too. But he might. We don't know. Like, they've suspended everything, and,
I don't feel like he was never really a good fit for Aces and Eights anyways.
He never really
I didn't think so.
Even, I think it was Christian brought up in group, like, could they bring back Wes Briscoe? Because have you seen him lately? He doesn't even look like himself anymore. And I was like, yeah, I have, and it's sad, but I don't know if they do that. Like, I could almost. Could you imagine if they brought in Gallows and Anderson and made them like the head of Aces and Eights?
Aces and Eights.
It would take
just
them
like
away,
Bullet Club,
right? But that's the thing. It would kind of move them away from the Bullet/OC gimmick that they've been in for so long, and give them something a little different, a little, a little bit fresher. But still be a nice fit for them. I'm trying to think of other people, and
no, James Storm's Robert. No, James Storm wasn't in Aces and Eights.
No, he was not.
I could see for like a one-off appearance for Slammiversary. I mean, no one's gonna be tuning in anyways, but it'll pop a huge YouTube view clip. I could see them throwing a big amount of money to Billy Ray and convincing Ring of Honor, who right now could probably use a little bit of, what do you call it, cross promotion?
Yeah.
Pay for, the rights to Billy Ray for the night. Because he would pop a huge pop. Let's admit that he still has nostalgic value. He's still a big name in the industry today. So I can see them bringing back him. And let's not forget who he is dating. One of Impact's hugest, the Pigeons Are Loose, Velvet Sky. I can see them wanting her back for some kind of appearance that night, too. And the package deal.
She could take over like money. Velvet could take over like Miss Tessmacher's spot as like the Aces and Eights baby. And I do love two comments.
Not to bring up bad news, but Ring of Honor has yet to make a statement on the Marty Scrolls situation, so we don't even know where they stand.
There's two comments I got to get to. One, our hobo clown friend saying that Aces and Eights were their best faction, hands down, and I kind of agree with you, homie. And Felipe. Who posted a great video for us on our birthday in Top Rope. You got to see that. It was like feels. He said, "Don't forget Garrett Bischoff."
That's what
he was one of them too.
Bischoff doing.
I'm sure he's doing nothing.
$20 and give him a coupon to Outback Steakhouse. He'll be there.
Right, here's a gift card to Pro Wrestling Tees. I'm in.
Yeah.
We will give you.
Dinner, and he's there.
We will give you a 50-cent discount on one of our shirts. How about that? But yeah, it's hard. Like, with the guys that are out there that could be coming in, I mean, they could always kind of switch it up and put like, they get Gallows and Anderson. Maybe they turn around, they get Eric Young, and they put them all in Aces and Eights with maybe a couple of original members like D-Lo and Mr. Anderson, to kind of give it that original feel, but then still make it new. I know they're not going to get all the original members. They're just not. Like Devon's not even wrestling anymore. So you're not getting him.
If we're talking just a one-off though, then all you really need is a bunch of guys like in those like skull masks, and biker jackets, and
just the vest and the flannel. And
I can't see them doing it like a long-term.
I think we said it before, but like in the time of COVID-19, what's better for wrestling than a faction that's all wearing masks?
Yeah.
They were ahead of their time, y'all.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool. I'm looking forward to that. And now we get to skip to Wednesday, which is pretty much the best goddamn night of the week.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I'm sitting here and I got to tell you, I was kind of not feeling that triple threat on NXT with Keith Lee and Gargano and Balor and the winner taking on Adam Cole. I didn't think it was going to be any good. It turned out to be pretty damn good from what I had seen of it, and I'm actually glad Keith Lee won. I really am. Yeah. If anybody deserves two belts,
that he's getting the push he's getting.
Yeah.
I love the push that he's finally getting. I love the fact that he has a chance to be a double champion. I even love him for the story he put out on social media during all this crap about how he was in a bar and he met a lady and, told her he was taken. And when he went to the bathroom and came back, there were fresh drinks waiting, and they spent, they hung out the rest of the night. And all he remembers is kind of stumbling to a car, waking up the next day in his room naked. He doesn't know what happened. And telling everybody, like, this kind of stuff could happen to pretty much anyone.
Everybody.
Yeah.
It took a lot of balls to put that story out there, especially being him. Big, just monstrous looking motherfucker. Like, no, this can happen to you too. So as much as I don't want to talk about like all the crap and scandals, like I had to bring that in because that's just that's a unique story out there amongst the garbage, you know.
Yeah.
With all the accusations and all the actual proof
Scandals
of
and everything.
scandals and everything else, for guys like him and even TJP to come out and speak out and tell you and give you a perspective that you don't hear, it's like, good for you, bravo. Fuck, just here you go.
Yeah, definitely takes a
Absolutely.
lot for a man to admit that he's a victim. That's one thing they tell you in therapy and counseling, that admitting that you're a victim is the hardest part. Admitting that you're not, as strong and flawless as your mind wants to, pretend that you are. And for a man to speak out, that's props, and I love it. I love Mia Yim herself too, another quite big, huge advocate for domestic violence, a victim herself.
Absolutely.
Them too, that's a money pair. And curveball, I'm gonna just throw it out there as a master of the curveball.
Of course he is.
Keith Lee beats Colt, double champion, has both belts, gives Mia Yim the North American title. Why not?
Wow.
Change things up. Curveball, why not? They're a couple. That'd be craziness.
I'd love to see that. I don't know if it's gonna happen.
That
would be wild.
But man, that would be some kind of crazy storybook magical finish for these two guys, and they deserve everything.
So since we're talking about NXT, can I talk about the best fucking entrance in wrestling right now? Karrion Kross.
Hands down.
That is the best entrance ever. Like, I saw it at TakeOver. I was like, oh, okay, they're doing this for TakeOver. Oh, no.
I told you.
That's his entrance.
That's his entrance.
They
Every time.
They are doing everything right.
Yeah.
With Karrion Kross. Like, I was like, they're gonna fucking turn him into a joke and a clown, blah blah blah. Like I didn't think it was gonna work. No, he is the animal that he's supposed to be. I just hope they don't, when he loses his first match, that he doesn't turn into a joke.
You see that entrance, and you almost think Karrion Kross is like the next Taker. Just all the dark, smoky, scary, macabre crap. Only Scarlett is a way better valet than Paul Bearer, hands down.
Way higher.
It's a little prettier.
Better look at. Whole nine.
She can handle my urn any day.
Rest in peace. Love you.
I wonder though. I wonder like how much creative control does Karrion Kross have, especially being in the WWE where they like to have control over everything. Is this part of his contract where he was like, this is what I would like to have control over my gimmick. Like, this is what I'll give you, but this is what I'm holding on to.
I know with Triple H, there's a little bit of wiggle room. There has been for certain guys. You know, for Adam Cole, for even Ricochet when he came through, and obviously we see, what's happened to him since. But when he was in NXT, he had a lot of input on his character, and Triple H was willing to work with him. Mm-hmm. I think a lot of this is coming from Kross because a lot of this was a part of his gimmick in one way or another coming in, and Triple H just adapted it, put a little something on it, and just turned it into something.
Zhuzhed it up a little bit.
Yeah, he gave it that extra oomph, and now it's just like like his entrance, even without Scarlett. Although don't do it without Scarlett, but even without, is fucking breathtaking.
It is.
It's ridiculous. Yeah. Even her coming out and putting the hourglass on in front of Adam Cole and turning it, I was like, oh.
It's like a cinematic masterpiece.
But I would just
a mini one.
Like
I know. Yes,
I'm
biased. I'm biased because I picked it to begin with when we were asked a few weeks back. But I would love to see Keith Lee win both belts and then Karrion Kross immediately challenge him after the match, or jump him and then challenge him the following week. That would be great.
Oh yeah, that would be pretty cool.
That match would be.
I'd be legitimately okay with that.
I would be like legitimately glued to that. I won't watch Dynamite if that match is on. It's like, nope, I'm here. and even Robert was saying that Karrion Kross versus Bronson Reed was pretty good. It really was. It was probably sadly his most challenging match in NXT.
And it was good.
And it was great. But like Bronson Reed actually gave him more of a fight than Ciampa did. Which was like, wow, holy shit, are you serious? But yeah, it was a great match. I enjoyed that too. The thing that I got to bring it up because they do it all the time, and I know Evans mentioned it before, so I know he's probably going to have my back on this. I'm getting really sick of these multiple person matches for a number one contender. Like, next week, fatal 4-way for the women's number one contender.
For no reason.
Why?
No reason.
It's like they'll have their number one contender already, but then they'll be like, well, you know what'll be fun? Let's do it. If you lose your number one contendership to some
Right,
bum
like,
ass
I know
who,
they don't
doesn't even
have
matter.
one, but like the only thing they can seem to do to crown a number one contender is have these like wild
Everybody
multiple
get the shot.
person.
You get a shot.
You get a shot. You get Oprah. You get a shot.
Yeah,
You get a
Oprah.
shot. You get a shot.
Diminishing it all.
And it doesn't really solve anything because somebody gets a cheap win in the middle of a fatal 4-way. They become number one contender. But does that really disqualify anybody else that was in the match? No. You just got a cheap win.
Storyline build.
Like,
there's no feud.
And I know people, and I know there's going to be people out there that hear this and they're going to say, well, they do multiple man matches. What would you do? All right. What would we do instead of like a triple threat, fatal 4-way, 6-pack challenge, 5-way ladder match, whatever?
I'm a fan of tournaments myself.
Amen. That was my answer. Tournament. Crown a number
tournaments.
one contender. Use it week by week so you can put it in the shows. You've got something plugged in and then you add around it. And
you as the viewer
go
get
from
invested too. I mean, look at how invested we got with Drake Maverick. I mean, granted, there was a lot more background story to it, but even without that background story, like, you get so invested in who you want to win. That's the thing about tournaments and competitions.
Even Robert said, what if they did, what if they did weekly tournament matches? Yes. Yes, thank you, Robert. And again, you can say what you want about like the AEW rankings, but like at least it crowns a contender. And you don't have to have these crazy matches most of the time. They had the casino ladder match at Double or Nothing. Outside of that, how else have they named number one contenders? Oh, you're top of the rankings? You're in. End of story. Whereas with NXT, they're just like, oh, here's a fatal 4-way, here's a triple threat, here's a 6-pack challenge. We're going to put 5 women in a ladder match. Why?
Well, even in
I'm not saying they got to have rankings.
Even in the main roster, they do that because I mean, like, look at the women's tag team match.
Oh yeah, they stay doing it throughout WWE. It's just another example of it. But I'm just saying,
it's become their staple.
You have so much time on television. Have a tournament. How about the Intercontinental title tournament? Did we enjoy that? And did we enjoy getting Daniel Bryan versus AJ Styles in the final?
Yeah.
It was great. Did they have to have a 22-way match for number one contendership to the Intercontinental title? Or winner gets the championship? No. They had a tournament. It was good. It ended up with a good final and a great match. That's all you got to do.
Robert said AEW ranking system don't mean dick. Exact words.
Well, if it doesn't mean dick, then why does it help with like number one?
But you know what does mean dick? Richard. Richard means dick.
Yes, it does.
That's a fact.
But it does mean rankings. Because, again, going in, Jericho, when Jericho was champion, who was the number one ranked contender? Jon Moxley. Who got the title match? Jon Moxley. Who won the title? Jon Moxley. It's that simple.
Yeah.
It could be that simple. You don't have to have rankings. I'm not saying that you do, but you could at least have a tournament to crown a number one contender.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting. It plugs in matches for you week after week leading into a pay-per-view.
It builds high stakes. Each win matters.
And it leads to...
Exactly. And it's how most things are decided. I mean, I hate to bring it up again, but because I love it so much, look at RuPaul's Drag Race. That is a tournament in and of itself. Every week, someone gets eliminated. And let's keep going with one less girl. Exactly.
Yeah. It's more interesting that way than just having these random, like, we're going to throw a hodgepodge of people out there and have some crazy match where somebody looks like they're going to win and then the other person throws them out of the ring, gets the pin, and now they're number one contender. Does that really mean you're like a genuine number one contender? No, you just got lucky. So what was the point of the whole damn thing?
It shows a lack of ability to be able to form a quality singles match. They can't build up the stakes enough. So they feel they need to add, like, if you put like 2 more people, then this win gets no extra. You beat 5 people in one match. Wowzers! When instead I want like one person big. Like you said, they've clawed their way through this tournament. They fought their way there, and now this is the finals, and we're on the edge of our seats, like, waiting to see who wins.
For instance, Nothing got me angrier than when they took the King of the Ring tournament and turned it from one-on-one matches to where you advance to, oh, well, now we're going to have a triple threat and the winner of this advances. I don't give a shit the reason why. It wasn't interesting. It wasn't new. It wasn't fun. It just sucked. Flat out sucked out loud.
It really did.
Because usually the King of the Ring tournament winner has to climb that mountain and go one by one and everything else. So to just change it up for the sake of changing it up and making it more your style these days sucked.
Yeah.
Sorry. It sucked.
I mean, that's what was so exciting about the King of the Ring tournament, like seeing that gradual build towards a climax.
Right. Even a tournament like Felipe said with the G1 Climax format. Like, yeah, that'd be cool. They used to do stuff like that in Impact back in the day.
Yeah.
Have a similar
Glory series.
But BFG series, yes.
Points and
that would be
stuff,
cool
yep.
too. Like, I'd be fine with that. But stop with the multiple man or woman crap. It proves nothing.
Yeah.
It solves nothing. It just leaves a log jam at the top when somebody gets a cheap win. And usually most people are pissed off they won anyway.
Like, it's exciting if it gets done every once in a while, but when it's a weekly thing,
over and over every freaking time. Yes, exactly.
It's like eating the same thing every day for like a whole year.
I feel like Wendy is in my brain. Get out of here! Stop!
We're here, bro. We're here. You know this.
No means no. I'm just kidding. Go right ahead. Just wear a condom. I have a really dirty fucking mind. I really do. You have no idea. You may think you know.
You'd be amazed, friend.
But yeah, is there anything else from NXT that we need to try to cover? I think we pretty much.
I agree with Felipe. I miss King of the Ring as well.
I do too. Well, they had it last year.
The Ring.
But like they screwed it up, and then hopefully they'll have it again this year because I'm so sick of King Corbin at this point too. Like, enough.
Exhausted by him.
If we're all good, let's move on to Dynamite because there was a lot there too that like wow, that's all. It's just wow, and I think yes, one of the things I have to start off with that Evan was alluding to. Not only did we get the Lucha Brothers return, but the much anticipated return of Pentagon Jr.
Right in the back of that pickup truck. How crazy was that?
I lost my mind.
Welcome back, dude. No, they were
mad.
The butcher and the Blade try to steal the pickup truck, and while FTR
didn't try, they did.
They basically did. But before that was after. Before they're in the pickup, they're talking to him. And I don't know if Dynamite meant to or not, but when they cut to a camera shot, you saw the two of them standing behind FTR. And as soon as they did, I was just like, oh my God.
That was awesome.
All I know is that they better not drop the ball, and someone needs to tweet this out to Tony Khan. They need to call these guys the Butcher, the Blade, and the Bros. It just
yes,
name right there.
Rolls.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, you can get rid of Phoenix and just call them the Butcher, the Blade, and the Breaker of Bones. I'm good with that. See how that flowed? It had like that rhythm.
That's such a great team up, though, because
it really is.
Lucha Bros have like all the flips and the high dives, whereas Butcher and Blade are just like ground
punch you in the face.
They're very Smash Mouth like FTR. And so this and by the way, FTR versus oh Christ, who do they fight? SCU. Why did I forget that? Oh my God, brain fart. FTR versus SCU.
This guy right here,
fucking believable.
Yeah.
Oh, just like again, it's one of those times where in wrestling you bust that wrestling nut and you're sitting back with a cigarette.
And
like,
you know what?
Kind of a sandwich.
Dude, speaking of busting that nut, how about AEW teasing? The match we've wanted for years and years has been the Bucks and the Revival. And they're in the same ring together.
And now we're having an 8-man.
They're like,
now we're having an 8-man.
Cross the streams. You can't cross streams yet.
Because now at Fyter Fest, we're having an 8-man.
The
Butcher, the Blade, and the Bros versus FTR and the Bucks. And I think this is perfectly set up because like the Butcher and the Blade and FTR are Smash Mouth. Lucha Bros and the Young Bucks are like the crazy flipping, do whatever to win kind of tag teams. So you throw these 8 in the ring, and you're like, "Holy shit, my head's going to explode!" Like
Robert
Fyter Fest is going to be so good.
Robert just said, "Yo, 8-man tag at Fyter Fest will be good. I'd like to see how their styles would mesh and what kind of compromises will be made."
Yeah.
Solid
Yeah,
point.
that's true.
I would
Like
love
that.
for them
And
to
by the
add
way,
the,
we see all the Cero Miedos in the chat here, and we're right there with you because that's all we were doing for like half an hour.
the only
after
thing
the
that
show.
would make my head explode even like further, like Death Star explosion levels, would be if they made it elimination. That would be amazing.
Oh,
Yeah.
That would be
Just so it
awesome.
lasts longer. I don't want to bust my nuts so quick. I want to like.
Yeah,
come on,
you
keep
gotta let it
going.
marinate.
Extend
You gotta let it
it.
keep.
It.
You gotta drag it out so when it
Otherwise,
finally
it would-
happens. Yeah,
I don't want it
Yeah,
ending.
that's a good one.
It's one of those where I want the crowd, if there was a crowd safety mask, whatever, first chanting "Fight Forever." You know, that's one.
Yeah,
With these
like,
eight
I don't-
guys in the ring.
I don't have the soundboard up because I'm looking at the comments, but I'll just give it to you. Hey, that's pretty good.
These guys right
In my
here,
in
the
my
big
notes
talented
for Dynamite,
boys.
I put SCU versus FTR. Amazing tag team action. Both teams showed great tandem work. A total clinic on good and proper tag work.
Yes.
Yeah, that nails it right there. That was
And that's the thing, I can't tell you what was better, whether it was the match or all the crap that ensued after with the Lucha Bros popping up and the Bucks coming out and the truck
All of
getting
it.
stolen. I don't know
All
what
of
was
it.
better because the match was amazing, but then after the match, all that shit was amazing too.
Like it all just worked out so beautifully. Chef's kiss. It was.
what if they
magnificent.
did do the elimination and it came down to like Matt and Dax on one side, or Nick and Cash,
That would be insane.
and they'd have to work together.
Wow.
Set up
so
the
maybe
Meltzer
even,
driver together.
Even our homeboy Brian, our group's NXT champion, says, Survivor Series style would be perfect. Yes, it would.
Yep.
I'd totally support that if that's
We're
what
all
they
on board
did.
with that.
Everybody.
Yeah, everybody. I think everybody would be okay with that. If you're not okay with it, by the way, when you see this on YouTube, leave the comment below.
Even
Look,
the unicorn's on board with it. So.
I
Unicorn.
want to see Kaz and Sky versus FTR.
Yeah, I mean they've said it a few times now. They're going to have Sky trying to devote his time to the singles division, and they're using Daniels and Kaz together as a tag team. So, but I would still like to see that. I mean,
yeah, absolutely.
They're still SCU.
Mm-hmm. Oh no, they're still SCU. They're still SCU. They're just trying to branch out a little bit and maybe all end up maybe one day with belts, that sort of thing.
Can I put my sad hat on right now? I am really sad that the worst city in the world gimmick has gone away. Is anybody else sad?
No, I was thinking that too. Like, whatever happened to this is the worst town I've ever been in.
They became baby faces.
I haven't.
In the same town
They haven't
forever.
been
Oh, I know,
moving
but if
towns
you-
either.
How much can you insult that one? I mean, it is Tampa.
Yeah, you're in
Sorry,
Danny's
Tampa.
place.
It's Jacksonville,
all the
though.
time.
Jackson. Oh, that's right.
If you
Look at
think
that.
about it,
Jacksonville,
You
Tampa.
can't
Go
insult
back-
Jacksonville. That's a
Go
sin to the
back to
Khan family.
go back to Fighter Fest last year, I believe it was, and they were standing in the ring, and Sky was screaming in a Jacksonville shirt where it was colored shirt, like for the Jags,
Yes,
where it was
yes.
written, "This is the worst town I've
Worst
ever
town
been in,"
ever.
and the whole crowd went fucking nuts.
Yeah.
And now you stop doing it. Like, I guess I get that they're faces, but at the same time, when he said it, there was this huge pop. So you don't really
Well,
need to get them to stop saying it in order to not be faces, because it's fucking over. So
It just might be because they've been stuck in the same terrible town since
Yeah.
4, 5 ever.
Bailey's place. is so
true.
terrible.
Maybe post-pandemic, whenever that is, they'll start it up again. I don't know.
Never.
I hope so.
Maybe when there's more of a crowd, to get that pop, so people don't accidentally mistake it for oh, they're hating on us.
Yeah.
That sort of thing. I don't know.
That is Jacksonville, though.
But I'm with you, Brucey. I thought about that too. Like, every time I saw SCU come
I
out
live
with
in Florida.
this guy or whatever, like
Mm.
I have my reasons.
she has no shame.
Florida.
Don't try.
I don't know what shame is, but I do know what Florida is. Horrible.
Are you holding a grudge because you couldn't get on the teacups at Disney?
Fun fact, I've never been.
Dude, I know it's a party, but I'm about to spit beer on everything. Don't do that.
I've never been, so I haven't been rejected yet.
Oh, okay.
Yet.
I think you'll be fine.
Oh, the Battle Bowl concept. I do vaguely remember that. That is pretty good.
Let's just say fuck it and put up the 3-tier friggin' Hell in a
The
Cell.
War Chamber.
Yeah, there you go. Fuck it.
The cage on top of the cage on top of the cage. They keep getting
the
smaller.
one where you have to go all the way to the top, grab the belt, and bring it all the way back to the ring.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that was the War Chamber.
that was
I
the
don't know.
great idea.
WCW's been a minute, but I'm pretty sure that's what it was.
That was a joke, everybody. That was a
about-
joke. I'm just.
How about old school TNA when they had that big red like battle dome cage and you had to like climb out the
That
exit
was
and Homicide
actually
gassed
kinda
out?
cool.
He just like fucking died, couldn't make it out. That was insane.
Yeah.
I thought he was gonna like collapse.
Yeah, that was crazy too.
Yeah,
They
that
only
was
did that
good.
match one time because they realized how impossible it was to like climb upside down and then like pull yourself out like a little like tiny hole.
Yeah, it was like an X Division match meets a cage match. It was insane.
Escape. Yeah.
But yeah, actually, Robert
And the
just
red
brought
color
up.
was horrible on the eyes.
Robert just brought up one of the topics that I wanted to get into next from Dynamite, and that is the saga that has become Brodie Lee and Colt Cabana. Because obviously we've all been kind of fans of this what Wendy calls them high class Jersey trash team.
I love them.
And oh no, we lost Brucey. Oh, there he is. Okay.
He's back.
So we're all fans of like Sonny and Janela, and they had a great match, but they eventually lost to Cabana and Brodie Lee, with some assistance from the Dark Order here and there. And even though you saw Cabana kind of leave with them, obviously he's still rocking the gimmick. He hasn't quite sold or bought into this Dark Order thing.
He's in.
What do you guys think of this whole thing? Like, are you interested to see where it goes? Do you think Colt will join? Because
I do want to see where it goes. I think Colt will eventually be lured to the dark side. We're gonna get like a darker, more aggressive Colt, which I look forward to. Yeah, so I think he's definitely one of us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm not one of you.
Google.
Okay, so I gotta say,
I want to see Boom Boom join the Dark Order and then change his name to Colt Cabana with the U. You know, Colt. Get it? That joke. It's okay. It's our birthday. I'm not allowed. Yeah,
That joke.
Your dad, you can do it.
No, yeah, I think he's gonna join. I think he's gonna be dark and spooky for a while, and then like come some of the big pay-per-view, whether the double or nothing, whatever. There's gonna be a big swerve, and he's gonna unravel and tear apart, try to tear apart from the inside, and we're gonna get Brodie Colt as their big match.
I gotta say, I'm very
interested. At the end, they come out like, ha for you.
Okay, I gotta say, I'm very interested in where the story is going to go. I don't know if I want to see Colt Cabana become a gimp. I just don't. I mean, again, even Robert says I don't ever recall a time where Colt was a heel, and I don't either.
That's what's
why he's doing
about it.
Exactly.
But he's so good at what he does. He's so like light and funny and goofy, but he can get in the ring and kick
maybe
your
he
ass.
wants to change it up a little bit.
Think about like Jim Carrey. Think about like Jim Carrey when he took on like some of these like deeper, darker, more serious
and
roles.
it ruined his career.
No, it did not.
It really did.
No, it did not.
It really did.
Look at Jim Carrey and Robin
Look at Adam
Williams.
Sandler. Adam Sandler was fucking, I want to touch the hiney, and now he's like deep brooding, old man Sandler, and we're like got the feels for him.
Right.
Before he was teaching us how to pee in our pants, and now we're like life lessons from the guy.
I like the original Adam Sandler, the original Jim Carrey, because they made such an impact on my life. And Boom Boom is one of those guys.
I'm just saying, with age comes a little bit of maturity, a little darkness side. We don't see the bright side of life anymore. As we age, we get jaded.
You had plenty of time to be dark, Colt. That time's over.
For him.
I'm sorry, we haven't got Brucey in on this yet. What do you think, homeboy?
This is probably going to be one of the best things that's happened. And you know, like he needs to be a heel. He needs to make this turn. And honestly, I think it's a done fucking deal. But I also agree with Evan. He's going to be the guy that unravels from the inside. It's going to be like him, the Beaver Boys, and 10 versus Evil Uno, Grayson, Brodie Lee, and 4. Like in a 4-man tag match, building up to that big match of Colt versus Brodie Lee.
Yeah, it's just so hard to think of him as just a number with that personality.
He's not going to be a number. He's still going to be Colt Cabana.
Yeah,
but he's going to end up like He's gonna end
Look
up
at
like
Evil
here's
Uno and his
this
ring
is number
changer.
17. Like, is that what you really want?
No, he's not. He's gonna be Colt Cabana, but he's gonna come out in all black tights and all black gear, and maybe wear a jacket with a hood over it when he comes out, and he's gonna take it off, and he's gonna beat the
Okay.
shit out of people.
He'll have some dark
I like-
industrial remix of his music.
I like
all
Robert. Robert took
scary.
Yeah, Robert took Evan's little joke and took it even further. He's like, Colt could turn and he could be a real cult of personality. Ba-doom.
See.
Ba-doom. No. No, I definitely. I mean, I dig the story, and I'm really falling in love with like Sonny Kiss and Joey Janela. I think they're a great tag team.
They
Like,
are fantastic together.
They've meshed so quickly.
I loved. Can I just say?
And we get
when,
Sonny on Dynamite, which is
you
something
guys,
we need.
No. I loved it when they were like before the match started and they're standing next to each other and Sonny's playing with Janela's hair.
Yeah, that was great.
Okay,
It was adorable.
I was watching this like 1 a.m. when I came home from work. Was Joey Janela in the supermarket buying Lunchables? Is that what
Yes,
he was
yes,
buying?
he was. He was buying
It looked
Lunchables.
like Lunchables.
And
As
then
a
they get
parent,
into
I know
like
what
that.
Lunchables look like.
They get
I'm
into like that
thinking, I
Lucha
can picture Sonny Kiss,
Underground
like,
fight
stacking
in the
ham and
parking lot.
cheese.
Like, you remember those old Lucha Underground vignettes? All of a sudden, that breaks out in the parking lot with Colt, with Joey, and with Sonny.
Yeah,
and it was amazing. And
then he like bitch
even
slapped him with the
Excalibur.
grocery bag.
I think
With the
Excalibur was the
bag
one.
of Lunchables.
Yeah.
Yeah, Excalibur was the one that brought
Yes.
it up. He said, look at Sonny go. It's like this is her first time on Dynamite, and it's like, yeah, it really fucking is.
Yeah.
We finally got her on Dynamite.
Like, we finally did, which is awesome. I love her. She's amazing.
Rocking them booty shorts. How about that? When the guys walked up on her, I'm like, whoa.
I forget. I think
Right?
it was.
Huh?
I think it might have been Brian last night in our discussion thread while we were watching along, and he said, Sonny's outfit is definitely not PG, and I was like, it never has been, bro, and it never will.
Welcome to the world of Sonny Kiss, huh?
There is no such thing as PG with Sonny Kiss or AEW.
Yeah.
No,
That's
why
an
it's
interesting
14.
tag team.
Right. And how about the confrontation that led to the brawl between Le Champion and Freshly Squeezed, man? Who knew he had those size clementines just hanging?
Yeah.
He's got some pomelo grapefruits on him. You ever seen those?
Right, like that. Just
balls
balls
grande.
grande.
The most amazing part of that segment was on social media. A few of the other wrestling groups that I'm in, not as amazing as ours, nowhere near it. Speaking of which, go to Top Rope Wrestling Talk on Facebook, find the group. But anyways, on these other inferior wrestling groups, there was a lot of people saying, "Man, Orange Cassidy, I never thought he had it. I was a doubter. He proved me wrong." There were a lot of people whose eyes were.
There were a lot.
What?
Doubter.
I don't know what you're talking about.
They thought they would never see him in a main event scene.
Total doubter.
Literally, it was a main event back-to-back promo with no words, and this dude killed it.
Grandma Wendy, conspirator.
I'm sorry, what? I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Can we?
Look, she couldn't even get it out without freezing.
Like, we just did a lot with Orange Cassidy right there. Can we shout out Chris Jericho for all the talent he's put over since he's come to AEW?
Yes,
absolutely.
Oh my God.
Talent.
That's actually one of the notes I put in my
paycheck.
notebook.
Without a shadow of a
That was
doubt.
actually in my note. Jericho doing a great job putting Cassidy over.
I mean,
And
Jericho.
it's not just Cassidy. It's Jungle Boy. It's all
Yeah.
of these,
All
all
of
of
them.
these young guys.
I don't think there's anybody else in AEW that's put more guys over except maybe Cody Rhodes.
Cody.
Yeah.
He and Jericho
there's a
just
difference in how
do
they do it,
everything they
though.
can to like put these guys over and get them noticed and get them that respect put that respect on their names, whether they win or not. They come out from the program with these guys in so much better shape with a better reputation. People see what they really are, and they're like, "Wow!" And you did, because someone like Jericho or someone like Cody talks so highly of them to begin with. Like Cody with Ricky Starks last week, and now Jericho with Orange Cassidy this week. if you didn't know these guys or you had ideas in your head, by the time they were done talking and you were done watching, you were like, okay, I'm in. I like them now.
I would love to have seen their Twitter accounts, how many followers they had before that segment, and then like after their segment on AEW. See how many like thousands of new eyeballs are following it and trying to figure out what the hell the pockets and the what that's all about.
Is there any way we can get Jericho to put us over? Like, it doesn't even have to be on AEW. Just like Talk is Jericho or something. Just put us over so that our followers go from like wherever to like.
He's gonna lock me up in the walls of Jericho if he needs to. I'll take him for the team.
I'll take it.
He could
I'll take a Judas
house.
effect or something, whatever you want. Code breaker, you name it. I got a few bumps left in me, homie. Let's do it.
I did put in my notes. Back to Cassidy and Jericho real quick. What is it? Fighter Fest match. Sorry, I can't read my own handwriting because I was writing so quickly. I was so excited. Fighter Fest match should be no DQ. Let them fight.
Yes. That would be amazing.
Yes. Just a Jacksonville street fight.
I love how Jericho pointed out how Orange Cassidy completely not reinvented, but how did he put it? You got to be different, and he is the epitome of different. In professional wrestling.
Stand out. He definitely stands out.
In professional wrestling, it's all about doing something. He does nothing, and gets over more than these guys that do everything.
Really, he does the laziest thumbs up.
What?
He's like if the TV show Seinfeld was a wrestler.
Yes.
Even the comparison that Jericho made to Orange Cassidy and what Brian Pillman had said all those years ago.
Yeah.
I thought was like, mwah. Felipe just put it up, and I was like, "Holy shit, dude! Yes, it's true. Like the way he compared Orange Cassidy to what Brian Pillman had said years ago. I was like, wow, this dude just got like big. Like if your name is in the same sentence with Brian Pillman, you just got a nice push, no matter what.
You got it. It's definitely worth one of these right here,
right? Like, hey, that's pretty good. But
the thing that I was waiting for is at the very end after Jericho went to the table and he put the Ray-Bans on. All he needed to do to top that off is just put his hands in the pants.
That's what I did.
That
I don't think he could though.
Would have
he
needed to dip his hands in some
oil
first, and then he could.
The balls on Orange Cassidy. What Jericho already told him: if you try that crap little sloth kick stuff on me, I will knock.
Oh, and then he just like
throat. And the next minute he just dink.
I love
dink,
that
dink. I was like, oh.
But the super kicks what did the most damage. I couldn't believe the damage that did to Jericho.
It's brutal. But, it was like the whole time he's kicking him like, I dare you. I double dog dare you. I triple dog dare you. Now you got to do it. He was just so fucking like defiant in the face of like a goat,
It's like when I tell my kids at home, like, don't touch. And they have to go.
They're like,
they look at me.
I'm not touching it. I'm not touching it. Did I touch it? You don't know.
It's kind of like when your little brother's like, I'm not touching you.
Right.
Yeah. I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you.
I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not yet. Not yet. Almost. Nope. Didn't do it. Oh, maybe I will now.
That was Cassie right there. He was poking the bear. He was fucking pushing that button.
And again,
that old kid.
And again, crazy respect for that guy. Like to hear Jericho say that, I'd be like, dink, dink. I was like, oh.
Okay, now question to you guys: with the possibility of Moxley not being able to make Fyter Fest, do we think Orange Cassidy Jericho is like the final main event of the both nights? Is this close off Fyter Fest?
Oh
no, I think they'll move Cody over to the second show because right now on night one they have 3 championship matches. They've got.
By the way, if we could take a moment, it's kind of difficult to be in the Mox family right now because we heard on Dynamite Mox hadn't shown up because he came in contact with somebody that had COVID. We did not know that somebody was Renee
after they broke.
And this is after. They already canceled her show this week, because Backstage is no more. Not that I watched it, but Backstage is no more. Then
it's gonna be for pay-per-views only.
Yeah, then she gets COVID.
Scaled back.
Then Mox possibly has it. It's like, oh man, it's a shitty week to be your family. That's all I can say.
Well, no, Mox tested negative for it. So
did he? Okay.
He's got one more test he has to take before Fighter Fest to be
But even then,
cleared to
you gotta
wrestle on
like
the show.
you gotta like seclude yourself from Renee.
Yeah,
that's tough. That's tough. You gotta isolate yourself from that.
14 days away from your wife. Oh man.
Oh. As if Shark Week isn't bad enough. Did I just say that out loud?
Do you think Cage gets a different opponent, or I mean, the title match is clearly off the if it's off the picture, do you think we give Cage a different opponent, or what?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think they're either going to give Cage a different opponent, or
give him Luchas.
If Mox does have COVID, maybe they strip him of the title, and maybe they put a match together for the vacant championship, and Mox gets first crack at whoever wins.
AEW will not strip him because of this.
But that's what I mean. Are they going to then leave Brian Cage off TV after all he's been doing since he showed up?
Hell no. They'll bring in like Jeff Cobb or something and keep a match.
Okay, then I'd be cool with that. But I don't know if they'll go without an AEW title match at this point when they've been building it up since Double or Nothing, basically.
And then we saw Triple H and Vinnie Mac over there on Wednesday. They have their counter programming now with the Great American Bash coming up, making that a 2-week event, coincidentally on the 1st and the 8th as well. AEW this week came out behind NXT in the ratings. You got to put something up the next 2 weeks, right?
Yeah.
I guess. You would hope. Yeah, you got to think that, I know there's some stuff that they have planned for NXT, but you got to think they're hoping that Fyter Fest blows NXT out of the water regardless. Right. It's basically, it was a free show last year. It was just on an app and considered a pay-per-view. Yeah. Now it's considered a live TV pay-per-view type show.
Yeah.
Well, the rumors were that they wanted to run it in the UK originally, but because of all of this COVID stuff, that would have been crazy.
No, that was I'm pretty sure that was the original plan, and then of course the pandemic broke out, and it was like plan's gone. Hit. 2020 happened. Sorry, guys. So depending, we could have had PETA at a live event until COVID came along.
Yeah, we would have seen Hope right there in the front row, stoned to the gills, yelling for
Hope
and
PETA. Drinking some beers, stoned as hell. It would have been fun. They could have got us a lot of live footage.
Much love, girl.
Yes, much love to Hope. My chicken. By the way, we miss you, PETA. Where you been with the? But yeah.
Wendy, we will not fight.
I saw that. I was laughing at that in the back. I saw you. Do you want me to fight Bruce for you on behalf of his sister? I'm like, do it.
I'll drive down there. I'll get in that. I'll get my little turquoise mermaid and I'll haul ass.
Do it now.
I mean, I'll buy you a beer afterwards, or a root beer, I should say.
And
we'll
Robert
get root beer floats afterwards.
I think it was Robert again.
Black and blue and booze. It'll be great.
Yeah, I think it was Robert again. He brought up that Cornette fed into a lot of this hatred for Orange Cassidy. Go figure. But he's also been fueling the fire of hate towards Jim Ross too, which Brucey had brought up earlier, and saying things along the lines like JR is ruining his legacy by working in AEW. I mean, does anybody here agree with that in the first place?
Jesus, no.
If anything, Cornette is ruining his own legacy between his mouth and then the crap that's coming out about him, which is cringy, yet hilarious. About people talent saying that when OVW that he and his wife were trying to coerce talent to come and basically have like 3-ways with him or whatever, and his response to it was, "I have an interesting sex life." I feel better. Oh God, corny sex.
Can I get a bleach shower?
Yeah, right. Is there any possible way on earth that I could get in a tub of boiling kerosene and just unclean my body somehow?
It's foul.
Like I need one of those decontamination rooms you walk through and they just
right.
Yeah, at my
Just
work they have
unclean.
a chemical burn shower. You just pull it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, in case you get hot oil on you, just wash it off.
I mean, I'm not saying anything that like
Yeah.
consenting adults want to do is fine, but when you think about corny doing it, you're like,
I don't want to think about it. I don't want to think about it.
I don't either. It just keeps coming back in my head. I get mental pictures. I'm like,
so okay,
Like,
because bad mental picture, and kind of back to the AEW title picture with Mox. Felipe made a point. He said, "I think AEW will wait or do an interim champion." Now, see, that is something I could see AEW doing, kind of like what UFC does when a champion gets hurt. They name
do
an
like
interim.
an interim. Yeah.
So
They could say Brian Cage was number
the
1.
interim.
He's the interim champion, and he's going to take on so and so at Fyter Fest. And then when Mox comes back,
they have their one-on-one.
Yeah, they have like a unification match.
Yeah, kind of like how NXT had planned before. They dropped the interim logo because the real champ is kind of in hot water overseas.
Asshole.
So now I guess Escobar is the
Let's go back
champ.
further than that too, because let's go back further than that because there were no allegations involved. Like when Shawn Michaels and Razor Ramon both had the Intercontinental title, and eventually they came together for a ladder match to unify those titles. You could do something like that with Mox and Cage down the line, but you could say Cage is the interim champ. He's going to defend at Fyter Fest against blank, and eventually when Mox comes back, we'll put the two in the ring, and whoever wins will be the real world champion. I'd be cool with that.
And Taz can keep that story going the whole time. Like Cage is the real champ. Cage is the real champ. Moxley,
Taz. I mean, Taz could keep anything going. The way he cuts a promo. Oh my God, like 23 years of just golden promos, left, right, center.
Yep.
Like I just missed him overall. I missed him at a commentary table. I missed him cutting promos. I still kind of miss him in the ring. But if there's any more of a perfect combination than those two, I don't know what it is. Like you've got the human suplex machine backing the fucking machine. It's perfect.
that promo that he did that segment where he was like scientifically breaking
down the moves.
Match. Yes, that was fucking awesome.
Okay, Stu, we'll leave corny alone and we'll get off your lawn. I'm sorry. But no, Jim Ross is not ruining his legacy. He's just adding to it. I mean, did they say this when he went to New Japan? No.
He wasn't even in New Japan. He was in a studio in America recording
while
watching it.
When he was working in conjunction with them, did anybody say that? No. So why would he be now? What would be, the fact that he's talking up Cody Rhodes? Oh, yeah, ruining that legacy.
And in New Japan, with New Japan, he wasn't doing his best work. But nobody said anything like ruining your legacy or anything.
Like here's the thing, like we think of New Japan just as another show. Now, how many average wrestling fans in America you think actually watch New Japan and knew about JR doing that? Probably not a lot. Because 97% of Americans that watch wrestling are WWE fans, and that's all they watch.
Overall, I know there's a lot of diehard guys like us and people in our group.
No, there is.
Overall, it's maybe 15-20% of the entire wrestling group of fans all over, especially in the States, that had no idea he was doing that. Like you might hear it on the show and say, "Wait, what?" And that's fine. You don't have to. You're missing out on some great shit, but you don't have to.
Felipe made a point right now. Actually, Jim Ross has been better the last couple of months. He has.
Yeah, he really has.
I think AEW for him did what it did for a lot of fans in general. It reinvigorated our love and passion for wrestling.
AEW did for him what Evil Evan has done for us. They just brought us up to that next level, got us all pumped.
How many of us were
on our
jaded?
game?
How many of us were just jaded and bored with wrestling?
A lot of people.
Like if it wasn't indie, I was like, why am I even bothering? I can't. Mondays and Thursdays, Fridays, whatever. I couldn't be bothered anymore. And then AEW came in, and I was like, wait, what?
Ben just showed up. Hi, Ben. Hi, Ben. How's it going, big guy? Yeah, no, I was right there with you. And, AEW started to come in. And honestly, I was probably watching more like New Japan and ROH than I was watching WWE or anything else. And when I saw All In, I was like, wow, this is pretty fucking good. Like they ought to do something with this beyond this show, because it was basically just a dare. Like, you guys can't pull this off, and Cody and the Bucks said that we can, and then they went and did it. And when they did it, it was a little rough, but overall, you were like, there's something here. And then all of a sudden, AEW's is this thing, and it's coming, and you're like, oh shit, I can't wait for this. And when it did debut, it lived up to its hype. But I think also the thing with JR and all these guys is like the women's division. Like, you walk into a situation, you don't really know the people that you're working with or their styles or whatever else. And then as time goes by, you learn that stuff. You develop chemistry. You do whatever. And so later down the line, you come leaps and bounds because now you're comfortable with the people that you're working with. And JR, I mean, he hadn't worked with Tony Schiavone in 20 years. He had never worked with Excalibur. He was more comfortable, if you remember the older shows, with like Taz at the table with him, because he had worked with Taz in the past. He had not worked with Excalibur at all, and he had not worked with Tony Schiavone in decades. So to finally get that to that level where they're all comfortable with one another and develop like a rapport and a chemistry. Now it looks like Jim Ross is doing better because maybe he was phoning in. He wasn't. He just didn't know the guys that he was working with. He either hadn't worked with them or never did. Either not a long time or never. It takes a minute. And now that you've seen it develop over the course of 6 months on TV or so, it works.
Yep. Brian, you're my boy. He said Bruce is right, unfortunately.
Yeah, I agree.
Thank you.
I agree.
To the majority of American wrestling fans, if it ain't WWE, then it's not the big leagues.
No, wrestling.
Look at how WWE treats wrestlers who've been in other promotions such as Sting or Vader.
Yeah, that's true. And I like Robert say he started watching New Japan when they announced Wrestle Kingdom 9 through Global Force. Way to be real, because like Global Force was kind of, but but yeah. Anyway, you find out about it and start watching it. Like, if you haven't seen it, it's damn good. You want to. They're even back now. I got to catch up on the New Japan Cup. Like, I'm excited about all that. I'm looking forward to, see what they've. I'm looking forward to seeing what they have in general. I still. I can watch it without English commentary, but I prefer. So you got to wait a few days. I'm trying to think, what else do we have? Oh, we had another semi AEW related question that Grandma Wendy had brought up earlier, and it had to do with a certain woman who is the muse of a man having a midlife crisis in AEW.
Oh yeah, I was like, what question did I bring up? What?
It was about Allie. Remember?
Yeah, when you said muse, I was like, oh, okay. I just remembered. Yes. I don't even smoke pot, and I can't remember anything.
I'm bracing myself
because she's grandma. Do you want to ask the question now, or do you want me to do?
Sure. So how do we feel about Allie? Is she better as the bunny or QT's babe?
Oh, bunny all day.
Do you feel that
give Brucey a second. He's triggered. He's
triggered. Say your piece, Brucey. Give me your 2 cents.
That head
Grandma Wendy
pop right
wants
off.
to hear it.
I fucking hate this QT Marshall shit. I fucking hate it. She had the opportunity to be the evil bunny again, like we had in friggin' Impact, and she was amazing, and she had that platform to go there with the Butcher and the Blade. Why they separated them?
Hot.
And the thing is there was like no mute. This is one of the beefs that I, very rarely have with AEW is there was no split.
Right.
There was it was, hey, one day she's over there flirting with QT, and I'm like, why isn't she on the other side of the ring?
Remember, she even had that thing where she started hitting on Orange Cassidy? And she took his sunglasses off, she put them on, all that good shit. And then that just kind of petered out.
Fizzled away.
All of a sudden, there she was with QT Marshall, and you're like...
offering him apples.
Yeah. And you're like, what happened? Because, I'm sorry, I think Allie is much hotter as the bunny than she is as anything Allie-wise. I don't care if it's the leather pants or she's rocking the one piece on the way to the ring. I think she's much hotter and much darker and much better as the bunny.
I think as the bunny, they could have used her more. They could have had her be more, I don't know, sensational Sherry-esque, a little more involved.
They missed out on an opportunity. I didn't mean to cut you off. Sorry.
No, you're fine. You're fine. No, I agree wholeheartedly. That definitely is a missed opportunity. No, sorry, Robert. I'm going to have to disagree. Ali as Bunny was the AEW version of Scarlett Bordeaux. I can't agree with that because at least Scarlett's a little more active.
Are we talking about modern Scarlett? Like NXT Scarlett? Like
Hope's watching right now. What up, Hope?
Oh, hey, Hope.
Hope's watching?
Holy cow.
Hey, chicken. My blue-haired beauty. How you doing?
It's like 2 a.m. over there, no?
Right?
Good morning.
She must have just not gotten high enough and tuned in.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm waving. I don't care. Hi, Hope. We love you.
Hi.
Thank you for not getting that stoned.
I can't say the same.
But you showed up.
Back on topic, kitties.
Back to Ali.
I'm gonna be the adult. Ali.
Okay,
You know what?
Robert
If they were
actually
gonna
said
go-
NXT
I
Scarlett.
get it. Maybe they didn't want to go full like evil bunny. They were afraid to go too dark dominatrix with her character. If they weren't gonna go that route, my favorite Ali was the dumb ditzy when she was Maria Canales' assistant.
Oh,
on Impact,
assistant.
and she was like, "Oh, I'm just little Ali." I would have loved to see her in the role of Aruba with Britt Baker. I would love to see her doing the, oh my God, Britt's in the trash. Like, she would have played that off amazing. No offense to Rebel. I guess she's a horrible wrestler, but she's been killing it in these backstage segments. But, you already had Allie. You already had a character that you could have worked.
Right.
Like I said, if you were going to do a dark, evil bunny, I thought Allie should have been Britt's assistant. I think that would have been some good interplay there. Because I love that ditzy little, secretary. I'm trying to be helpful, and you kind of feel sympathetic for them to, finally get the big comeuppance. Allie killed that role in Impact. I think that's where she was beneficial.
I'm with you. I agree with that. And also,
she just
I'm
had that
loving
innocent face when you see her on and say, "Aww."
I'm really loving these comments too because Robert did clarify that he was talking about NXT Scarlett and the bunny and Scarlett now are close. Scarlett's a little darker, but then Felipe comes back immediately and says, "But Scarlett has Cross, and Allie has QT Marshall." Enough said. Bingo! You win, Felipe. Game, set, match. CWO.
Hey, can I interrupt real quick with something really random? Because I have Jose here, wanting to hear. So he just passed this over to me.
Fucking right.
Right. He was just tooling around on his computer right now.
Is that letterhead?
It should be. It should be our letterhead.
I don't know what we'd use it for.
That
may concern.
Kirby, new logo coming your way.
New logo.
We should put him on. He said we should put him on mugs because it looks like the Starbucks logo.
Yeah,
cool.
That looks a lot more official than that Matt Riddle lawyer printed out envelope, CD, label, whatever.
No, those were 5620s. Talking about Matt Riddle.
I like it though. It's cool. It's very, very cool.
This was really fucking legit. Look at this, you guys.
No, it's great. I love it.
My husband did this.
I love it. It's wonderful. Thank you, Jose.
Yes. Our husband. We're a family now.
Our other brother from another mother. That's a lot.
Yeah,
Wendy, I'm not gonna lie. When I saw, because I saw your face when he passed it to you, you were like, oh, I thought he got you tacos.
Oh, that would have been great.
I thought he got you tacos.
I thought he was asking her. I thought he wrote on a piece of paper do you want another beer?
Taco cheesing is not allowed.
Right?
So
no taco cheesing. No.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I've just had a message from my wonderful sister, and she can do coffee mugs as well. So we have top
rope wrestling. We need to send this to her so she can make us mugs.
We will send this to Kirby. We will get it all hooked up, and we will have coffee mugs too. And I will be using one on the show instead of my stupid little.
I'll be drinking out of it at work. People will be like, "What is it?"
Oh yeah, all day, all damn day. People are like, "What's that?" Oh, you don't know? Yo, call somebody.
All right. Enough interruptions.
No, that was
it's a party. It's a birthday bash. That
was a wonderful interruption.
It's okay.
Yeah, and another wonderful addition to the birthday bash because that got me so excited. But coffee mugs, you don't know. I drink coffee all day, all night. So bring on the coffee mugs, baby. I'm down.
Dude, I work late nights. Coffee,
right?
They hook it to my vein when I get there.
Yes, if I could have an IV, it would be in me right
pot
now.
For the customers and a pot for me.
What the fuck, Wendy?
What? This is Carlos the Chipmunk.
All right. So what do you guys think of the designs?
They're wonderful, Carlos.
Holy shit, I'm too high for this.
I'm not high enough for that.
I thought it was Mr. Woodchuck.
Evil Evan.
Yeah.
I seriously thought I was in Caddyshack.
I was gonna say, did this just...
I'm all right.
Don't nobody worry about me.
Welcome to my life, y'all.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is Wendy's Firefly Funhouse.
It is. It really is.
Yes.
Carlos doesn't die constantly.
You're Kirby. No. It looks like an otter. Yes, it does. It really does.
Because it didn't have space to sit on the bench.
I'm so sorry. Do you want me to scoot shit over?
Nah, stay outside.
The birthday bash became like the Firefly Funhouse out of nowhere.
We got puppets and Muppets and when's the magician show?
Oh my!
It became a whole other thing.
Hell yeah! Ventriloquism.
Definitely. So we thought we were gonna have a guest wrestler coming up, and instead we got a chipmunk otter thing.
Yeah, Mr.
Yeah,
Woodchuck.
it happens like that.
Mr. Woodchuck.
Yeah, remember that?
What?
Full House. Is it made of what?
Seriously?
Yeah.
You guys could make such great like TikTok videos and shit with that. You guys could be fucking loaded.
You should hear the conversations we have in the car.
The TikTok.
Like
top
he
rope
could be
is
like
tomorrow.
he could be like like instead of Bat Dad, you've got like Squirrel Man.
Yeah.
And the
Man,
squirrel
chipmunk.
Chipmunk.
You guys
My
know your
bad.
animals?
No, it looked like
You're
an
out in
otter.
the wilds, Brissy. You should know
No,
your animals. You got raccoons coming at you and all.
We need to get like Wendy and Jose to work on like the top rope TikTok tomorrow.
I don't know if we trust TikTok that much.
I don't really, but you know, might make us a few bucks. You know.
Maybe. I don't know.
Jose,
Hi,
when are you getting your
Jose.
Top Rope Wrestling Talk shirt?
Oh no, we lost Carlos.
Oh,
When are you getting your merch?
I don't know.
I'm gonna have to get him one.
Yeah,
you know you have to represent.
I know.
I believe we've we haven't cleared because we still have the
You have Felipes Question.
well, we have Felipes
Can we
Question,
bounce back
and
to that one?
we
forgot.
have that outlandish report that popped up before we came on.
Oh
which
yeah,
was
what do
that-
we want to do first? Let's do Outlandish because that'll probably go by.
Yeah, let's save Felipe for last because he's the best.
The best for last.
Zicky Dice has apparently
Jose's
asked,
face says it all.
right? So Zicky
Yeah.
Dice has apparently asked for his release from NWA.
And been granted.
He is
Yep.
he is currently their television champion. He has asked for his release. But we're not sure. He kind of denied it. Like he was asked about it, and his only comment was the word outlandish. Just like that. So do we think Zicky's really going to leave this company as a champion, or is this just another like dirt sheet report that will end up being discarded?
I think he left.
Okay,
I think
Brucey
it's
says he
a
left.
situation because he was all over the wrestle. What is it, that
Honeyland?
Carneyland thing?
Yeah, entice Zicky
I don't
Dice.
know though,
you know?
because I looked it up
And that was hilarious.
No,
Entice
y'all.
Zicky Dice was hilarious.
It was.
and it was like everywhere, from reputable ones to questionable ones. Like
Everywhere, huh?
everybody was like,
But
Deuce
you know
is
what?
Zicky.
You know what? If it is, it's probably for the same reason that what's his name from that?
Ricky Starks.
Ricky
That was going to be
Stark
my
did.
point.
Because it, like I've said before, NWA is where the story is told in the ring, not so much a mic infused kind of area where you have to do the whole psychology of the
Mhm.
mic.
Well,
Yeah.
more
Some of it, there is some of it, but most of the story is told in the ring, which is
No, I know.
great.
I
Which is
agree with
great.
your
I
point.
like it, that whole vintage vibe about it.
Oh no, I love it. I agree with your point completely.
But I
If
believe
could take-
Zicky had the same kind of, flow with the mic that my man had, and
yeah, But the bigger concern, because even Cody said something about it on AEW and even called it a shoot, was that Ricky Starks had $3.67 to his name.
Yeah.
And with NWA's production being suspended, it's one of these things you don't know if these guys don't work, do they get any money? And Zicky Dice is not exactly the kind of guy that can sit at home on what he earned already. So he might have asked for his release because he might be in a similar situation to Ricky, where his money's running low, and he could go out, sign with a company that's up and running, make his payday, and even though he might rather be the television champion in NWA, his bank account is saying you got to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
I mean, he might have said outlandish to the fact that a lot of the reports were like, oh, the NWA the bosses were like, if you're not with us in our beliefs, you can't be here.
Yeah, I think it's more of a
if you don't see our vision, you can leave.
Well, I don't think it's even that. I think that NWA is such a it's not such a strict stickler where they're like, yo, if you need to get paid, make that money. We don't have
exactly what I was about to say.
Yeah, because they can only do Carly and they can only support so much from those.
Yeah.
Right.
But they're like, you know what?
Them being limited to YouTube, you can only monetize your channel so much. You're not breaking millions of views. You can't run live shows. Billy Corgan's a smart man. He's the money man behind it.
Yeah.
And when he already has to deal with Dave Lagana gone, and he's trying to, focus on replacing and branding
restaffing
this NWA, this whole backstage. With Lagana, he had a lot of say in and he had a lot to do with the production of this company. With him gone, Billy Corgan has, he's been looking to bring in someone new, and that's going to cost a lot of money. I can see Starks and Zicky Dice being big money contracts with the company, and it being a situation, like we said, where they realize the writing's on the wall. I'm not going to get that payday. Big show that we had planned in Georgia, all these pay-per-views, this payday that was going to come in, it's not going to happen anymore.
Yeah.
YouTube can't pay the bills like they said. Only having $3, whatever, that a little bit of exaggeration, but I can see him hurting for a big payday, and then Billy Corgan saying, "Look, man, I get it. We're gonna let you guys go. I'll help you guys in any way to put you over. If you want to make a storyline out of it, you want to work up the indies, I'll help you guys, because when time comes, the NWA can run. Letting these guys go on good terms means they can come back. Means they want to come back because they see that you're not a skilling promoter."
And not only that,
and that's what I think. I think right now NWA,
because a lot of people are agreeing with us.
There's a lot of guys. You see Eli Drake taking off. Maybe see Eddie Kingston getting some more bookings now.
Maybe.
Because that grasp that they have on their talent, they're going to have to let it go when you can't afford to pay them anymore. It's just the right thing to do.
And not only that,
if they could only get Camille.
If guys
Camille,
saw,
I would love to see Camille and Nyla.
If guys, the bigger picture here is guys who are working for NWA haven't worked in months. Now they see a guy like Ricky Starks, who they ran with in locker rooms and did whatever for all that time. All of a sudden, he pops up on AEW, and now he's got a job, and now he's making good money. And they're sitting at home, and their money's low, and they don't have anything to do. And now NWA says, well, if you want your release, come get it. They're thinking, I could do the same damn thing he did and end up making my money, getting my life back on track, and getting exposed on national television instead of YouTube. It's a win-win-win. So from Ricky Starks, you're going to see a lot of these guys start to bail out.
It's going to
and try to go to places like AEW.
Brucey looks like he's got some on his mind. Brucey, give me your 2 cents.
What if this whole if you don't believe in our values and what we stand for, you can leave? What if Zicky Dice is actually like a Lagana guy? Like you have Heyman guys. What if he's a Lagana guy and he doesn't believe the accusations and doesn't believe that he should be let go?
That makes sense.
That's why he left, because he's a Lagana guy.
It could be. I haven't seen anything to say it, but you might be right. I mean, it's true. It's a shame because even like Brian's saying here, like NWA is in big trouble, and even Felipe, says it's sad because they were getting so much momentum going before COVID hit.
Yeah.
And now
they got hit twice.
Between that, and then bouncing back.
They've been getting hit real hard though.
Yeah, they bounced back with Carneyland.
They lost Lagana.
Lasagna.
Lasagna.
Okay, Garfield.
It's delicious.
No, when I was reading something about him, someone's like, I guess they're autocorrect, just changed his name to Lasagna, and my brain only processes that way now. So,
shocking.
I wonder if there'd be any interest from NWA to former Lucha Underground writer recently released by WWE's Chris DeJoseph. That dude had a great mind for storytelling.
By the way, speaking of Lucha Underground, can we clap for AEW for actually using the Lucha Underground format properly?
Yeah, we brought that up.
We brought that up earlier. Yes.
Sorry,
already
I'm
did.
late. I just
He was
got
busy
in.
making logos.
I know.
He's late to the party. Sorry.
You were busy
I
making
thought he was
awesome
making-
logos to go on coffee mugs.
I was
You're
putting him
excused.
to work.
But we did discuss that. It's wonderful. I love seeing
Make me
it
more
'cause
logos.
I love that show.
Yeah!
And they've used it before with guys like Archer and Archer and Darby and that kind of stuff. You know, they've used those sort of vignettes, and I love that they keep using them because they were great on Lucha Underground. They work for AEW.
Yeah.
They're very cool. They're different, you know. And so I give them a lot of respect for actually breaking that out. Even if they wanted to go and sign DeJoseph, like, good, do it. You know, it'll only make your show better because everybody says Lucha Underground was kind of that springboard for AEW.
I don't know. I told Wendy yesterday, I think Underground was ahead of their game.
Oh,
They were.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
They
Lucha
were ready for
Underground.
it, yeah.
Lucha Underground was almost AEW before AEW.
most stuff.
Most def.
Facts.
All I want for this year for Christmas, I've been a good boy. I want Mr. Joseph, if you're listening, I don't even need it like in film anymore. I grant it's never gonna happen. I'm not expecting it. I just want to go on Twitter and write me out what was gonna happen with that power glove and Dario Cueto was like a zombie.
Yes.
And Stu Bennett.
I need to know.
And Barrett was in the limo.
And Stu
we
Bennett
had
being the Dark Lord.
Katrina
You know.
she killed herself. The 1,000-year-old. The mom was in a locket. And dude, all these stories. I
It
was
was
like,
so
what
good.
happened?
It was
Figure out a
so-
way to
You
get in
can't tell me
contact with
they
him
have
and
an
have him on
ending
the
written
show.
already.
He needs to come on the show, and we need to talk to
Yes, like I said, just give it to me in a Google Docs form. Katrina was gonna do this. So and so was gonna do this. I'm super happy, man, because I need to know, man, that power.
I'm with
glove
you.
And the
I'm with you. There's so many
Craziness. They were
questions
going
and no
wacky.
answers. It's
Didn't
like
Cage have the glove?
Yeah.
Yes.
he did, and then it changed hands to
and then
Hager, and then Stu
Swagger
Bennett
took it,
popped
didn't
out,
he?
and then Dario came back, and
The whole
Swagger
thing.
had it was the champ, Jake Strong, and he took the belt, and he took it. He was all evil or some shit at the end, and
yeah, at the very end of
and
the
then
last
Dario,
season.
I tell you, the zombie Dario busting it out. Alistair Black came out with the
And,
black
and it
eyes,
turns
he was
out that the
scary,
ominous figure in the limo they had brought up season after season, when he
Yeah.
leans forward, it's Stu Bennett.
Bad news.
And it was like, what? And that was the end, and then it never
And
came
then the
back.
And then that
funding
was the
left,
end.
and then the ratings were gone. And
Then he disappeared and he showed up at
Oh, Robert, if you haven't
Yeah,
seen
all cheerful.
all cheerful,
Hello,
telling
everybody.
us, I have good
Wait, hold on, Robert, my man. If you have never seen Lucha Underground, please go watch
You
it.
have to see it. YouTube it, man. Look up there.
Look it up. It's
the
amazing.
greatest
Oh my
wrestling
God,
novella
it's fucking
ever.
amazing.
I'll tell you right now, because I still
Yeah.
watch it here or there. There's an app called Tubi. I don't know if it's on Amazon Fire Sticks, but it's on Roku. You can get free episodes of Lucha Underground on there. You just gotta
You find
watch
it on the
ads.
YouTubes, man. On the YouTubes.
Sometimes, but they ripped a lot
Also,
of it off.
screw
of
you,
YouTube.
Netflix, for not taking Lucha Underground and just tickling our balls.
Fucking fact.
Yeah.
Screw
Yeah.
you, Netflix.
We got one
Screw
season.
anyone who doesn't tickle my balls.
Screw it. Yes. Also, fact.
They teased us, but they didn't
Yes.
please us.
Yeah, for
Yes,
sure.
tickle my balls and bring me tacos.
Oh yeah,
And give me an end to Lucha Underground. That's what
That's
I
a
want
good
for
night.
Christmas.
Exactly.
that's a good
Get
night.
to
Now,
Felipes Question.
I was just about to say, before we totally derail, let's get to Felipe's question
Right.
and let's get about
Save
it.
the best for
Felipe
last.
from Chile asked us, can you separate the wrestler and his legacy regardless of the acts they have committed? For example, Chris.
That's a
tough
good one. And the
It's a
answer
heavy
from
question.
and the answer
think-
for me,
Oh.
because I already answered it when we did discuss Benoit, is yes. I can take what they did in the ring in their body of work and separate it from the actual person, because most wrestlers are just gimmicks in the first place. You know, as much as Benoit did in the ring, that was all. And even if he used his real name, it was a gimmick. In real life, he might have had problems, or he might not have been, the best guy in the world. But in the ring, he was one of the best ever. And I can look at that and say, that stands out. It doesn't matter, it doesn't matter the person. I can look at I can look at their body of work and I can still respect that. It doesn't matter if I don't respect the actual person behind it, or if I don't agree with something that they did, because that doesn't really have anything to do with wrestling in the first place.
Just gotta run to the bathroom, sorry.
All right, so everybody else wanted to jump in, and then I started talking, and now crickets.
Oh, sorry.
Trying to think of the right words to.
I think Jose has
a fan base.
Right.
For me, I'm in the same wheelhouse as you, Dom, but it also depends. Like sometimes it's really hard to separate the gimmick from the wrestler because, like The Rock said, the gimmick in a sense is you cranked up, bit of sprinkles on it. With Benoit, I can do it because Benoit had suffering. He had a lot of medical problems. Eddie died. That's all things that can break somebody.
And he was broken.
And I could kind of understand where someone's going to go into a place of madness.
Right.
Even if you watch that Dark Side of the Ring, it tells you like, dude, there's warning signs everywhere, and nobody.
Yeah.
And I can separate that because it's the pathway was there. It's just nobody was paying attention.
Yeah.
Or were they like forcing him to actually get help, or were they weren't even?
They weren't forcing him to get help. The autopsy showed that. I mean, they kept saying that he passed all these drug screenings for the wellness plan, and then his autopsy showed he had enough steroids in his system to kill an elephant. They kept saying that they were checking him out as far as physically and mentally. Yet his brain had so much CTE, it was basically the brain of an 80-some-year-old. They were not checking this guy out. They didn't give a goddamn about him. They let him go out there knowing he was mentally just fucked. He was emotionally broken.
And like
on steroids, the whole nine, and they didn't care because they had him in a big ticket role in their promotion, and that's all they gave a shit about at the time.
Yep.
And now they want to act. And now they want to act like it's Benoit's fault.
Yeah.
And it is to a point, but at the same time, you're responsible as well.
So, but when it comes to characters like Jimmy Snuka, no, dude, the stuff you were doing, no, like your character was essentially
definitely has to go be case by case basis, depending on
And yet, Jimmy Snuka has been in the Hall of Fame for 24 years and never removed.
Yeah.
And Benoit will never get in. You figure that one out for yourself.
But at the same time, dude, I kind of understand. It's one of those tricky situations. It's one of those like areas where, but like someone said in the Dark Side of the Ring, why don't we just honor Lady?
Woman.
Instead,
Nancy.
Like honor Nancy. And it's just a way, like, to kind of give redemption to the son, give redemption to the family that had nothing.
Give some closure to the remaining family.
Exactly.
Like her sister and Benoit's son, David, and that sort of thing. Give them just a little bit of closure by either recognizing Nancy or both of them and saying, you know what? We have made, since that time, we have made so many strides in our wellness program and in the way we treat our talent that something like this will never happen again. And then it makes you look even better instead of just sitting back and blaming Benoit solely and then blackballing him and his family. It makes you look a lot better to actually own the situation, accept responsibility, and say it led to all this moving forward. So I take the wrestler for what he did in the ring. In some cases, there are others where, like Snuka, where I just can't, because it's like basically
that's looking at like
basically somebody paid off a cop to get you out of a murder charge.
Yeah. Got more modern ones though, like with all the scandals that have come out.
Oh yeah.
Harder, because it becomes the question of, where does the gimmick end and the real person begin?
Right. Or did the gimmick put him in a position where he became this person that just does whatever he wants?
Are we talking about Joey Ryan?
Are we talking about David Starr?
all of the above?
Assholes?
Can we really?
I also love that these two people were like very prominent. Yo, I'm here, so social. I'm a socialist. Come on.
I'm Mr. Independent.
Quality struggle, and all along they've been like pulling penises out on people.
Mm-hmm. That's what I mean. Like it's hard. It's hard for me to separate what David Starr did in real life
He's dead.
compared to him as in ring, because what he did in real life was so fucking horrible, and again, and it just overshadows everything else. It's like
also screw these guys. I have to throw away so many shirts.
Right, fucking hell, man.
Right, I had to get rid of my.
I can't wear my King of Dong style shirt anymore.
Right, and Joey's another one. Like, I don't think anyone out of all of us is more heartbroken than Evil 11. But at the same time, Joey hurt me too. Like, I love that dude, and I respected him. I like the fact that he tried to create his own promotion and give people jobs and do something different, and just allow people to have fun. But at the same time, then all this shit is going on in the background. And it's like, man, I thought it was a gimmick. And it turns out it's not a gimmick. He really is a sleazy piece of shit. Like, it turns out he really is a sleazeball. So, all right, fuck you. I'm done.
But then, with all of that being said, there's some that have redemptive arcs in their life. Like Jake the Snake, the Iron Sheik. They went down these real dark
and even Stu.
And they've redeemed themselves in such a way.
And even Stu is bringing up everybody turns.
That's a good topic. Are they redeemable?
No, not Joey. Not some of them maybe.
No.
You see, I'm not going to get into all, but some of them maybe, but not Joey, and probably not David. And
dude,
a few others.
Dude, I'm sorry. Anybody that keeps writing a letter saying gray rape, I'm sorry.
No.
And the fact that he paid to promote his tweet was pretty scummy too.
But it's like Stu.
I'm going to pay to promote my apology. That's
everybody
kind of corporate bullshit.
Yeah, but again, as I'm trying to say here, it's like Stu saying that everyone turned a blind eye to Randy Savage's behavior towards Elizabeth for years. And you know what? That was brought out in Dark Side of the Ring. I'm not going to turn a blind eye to it. He treated her like shit. But once they were divorced and time had passed, he eventually got.
We talked about it in the car. We talked about their marriage, and it's a very tricky situation because it's one of those. He wanted so desperately to keep her away.
He wanted to keep her in like a protective bubble.
And which is not the way to do it.
No.
Yeah.
But that's what
at the end of the day, it's because he knew the environment. It's this. Back in the day, it was hookers and blow.
Right. But the thing about it was,
you don't want to come home to that. But then guess what? What you do instead of being honest with her and being like, look, this is the environment. Look, I don't want this in the house or blah, blah, and basically show her the ropes. Because he locked her in a bubble, when she released herself, she went effing crazy on.
Well, that's true. But as I was trying to say, even after all that with trying to isolate her and kind of treating her like shit, towards the end of her life, when Randy got into WCW, he got Elizabeth a job. Their relationship changed. He changed, and it sort of redeemed him up until the point where she OD'd. But that really wasn't on him.
Like, I'm sorry, but you're making it sound like Randy beat her, and he did it.
No, he just held her isolated from everyone as if
but he didn't beat her.
Hold on.
It was like
I'm going to say one thing without interruption. He didn't beat her. He isolated her in a bubble as if COVID-19 was happening in 1986, and he continued to do it for the rest of his WWE career.
But was it intentional, though? Was it intentional, or was it?
Yes.
Was it just him trying to keep her safe, but not knowing how to do it?
You have to remember, he's a country boy. He doesn't know how. He didn't know how to do. All he knew is how to fight the wrestling world, and it's a shit show.
Okay, so then either keep your wife out of it.
I'm not apologizing for it. It's just that he's probably like, the only way I know how to protect you is please stay here.
No, that's what I mean. His insecurities and his fears over her had him basically isolate her and pretty much take away anything that had to do with Elizabeth for years and years and years,
I mean,
until she
considering they were
finally
doing
broke
blow
away.
hookers and shitting in people's bags, I wouldn't want my wife near that either.
Then don't get her into wrestling. Then don't get her into wrestling. If you're going to get her into wrestling, this shit is going to happen, and you need to be there. You can't just stick her somewhere where none of this is going to happen if she's part of pro wrestling.
Yes, but like I said.
But even though it happened.
Like a goldfish basically made her aware of the environment. He should have taught her. Like, hey, this is the environment. But he was so scared and insecure, and I'm not apologizing for him.
Right. I'm not either. I said
and
what I was saying.
And even himself. Even he beat himself up because at the end, when she died, it was the most heartbreaking moment of his life.
Right.
The one person that I truly love is dead, and I effed it up.
Right, but at the end of her life,
marriage, and I could never,
At the end of her life, long after their marriage had been over, he got her a job. He began to show her the ropes. He began to do things like he should have done in the first place, which is what I was saying. And why I believe that even though he treated her absolutely horrible at the beginning of her career and through their marriage, at the end, he finally understood this is what I need to do. And he tried to do that in WCW. And it worked to a point.
And
then situations beyond his control.
Stop. Yeah. She got with him.
And then she started messing with Lex Luger. But at least he had learned from his mistakes. He tried to move forward. He was a good friend to her. He got her a job. He showed her the ropes. He basically allowed her to have a second chance at everything except their marriage, because he knew that was done and he knew that part of his life was over, but he still loved her and he wanted her to do well and he wanted to make up for what had happened in the past. And I believe that he did. So some of these situations are redeemable and have been redeemed. Randy Savage is kind of one of them.
I mean, in the modern world, look at Sammy. Sammy put out a genuine apology, and he to Sasha Banks, genuinely apologizing to her, talking with her about the whole thing.
Yes, that too.
And being like, I was a scumbag, and having an actual real conversation with her.
Mm-hmm.
And
there was no, I'm not a sexual predator, but...
Exactly.
Right.
He was like, I acted like shit. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Let me take steps so that my apology is real.
Excuses for themselves.
So there are redeemable cases, regardless of whether they were then or now or wherever. Sammy being one of them where...
You got something on your mind. Give me your 2 cents.
Well, I just wanted to say, don't worry, Jose. Your King of Dong style shirt won't go to waste. Just get rid of it. We've got a nice Top Rope Wrestling Talk T-shirt to replace it for you. Don't worry, we've got you covered, bro.
We gotta make ours that's one that says King of Top style.
All top, no bottoms.
Always power top.
King of Rope style.
Power top.
Yep. To the day I die.
Love it. All about it.
It's about that time.
That's how
that was a good question, Felipe. Thank you.
It really is. It was a great question, Felipe. And we're happy everybody tuned in. We love all the comments. They've just been rattling through. We're trying to do our best to keep up. And we're so glad this thing is going, 2 years.
Yeah, fucking happy birthday. Yeah.
Happy birthday to us yet again.
Can I just say real quick?
Stay high, Mojo style.
Let me just say real quick, it's only been a few months for me here with you guys, and it's been like some of the funnest times. I look forward to this every week. And even on days that I'm like dog ass tired, I'm like, no, I got to bring it for the boys.
No, I hear that.
I got to be here with
there are
them,
some days, some Thursdays
this.
I'm dead. I'm dead to the world. And
I just want to
I
say
know
this.
8 o'clock's coming, and I'm like,
Tom, shut up, I'm talking.
What's new? Interrupt me all damn night and then shut up, I'm talking.
You have your sentimental moment. Let me have mine. Thank you.
God forbid I agree.
Guys, it's been a fun couple of months for me, and I just want to say thank you all. It's reinvigorated my love and passion for wrestling in such an amazing way. And you guys have become really good friends of mine. I love all of you. And you I'm going to say because you're here with me on camera right now.
You're used to you. You're.
You three, you guys mean a lot to me. And I appreciate the friendship that has blossomed from this. You guys are And to all my special babies out there, Grandma Wendy loves you all. All right, sentimental time over. Oh. Mascara.
Smear my mascara.
My makeup.
Yeah.
It's waterproof. It's okay.
I'm about to go grab my belt. Oh.
No, I'm definitely with Wendy. There are nights where I'm like dead on a Thursday, and I look at the clock and I'm like, man, it's nowhere near 8. I got to get amped up. Like, I got to do this. These guys are gonna, these guys are waiting. And I look forward to it, whether it's a regular show, preview, kickoff, whatever. I look forward to it the whole week. Like, oh man, is it Thursday yet? Is it Thursday yet? Like Dynamite. Is it Wednesday yet? Is it Wednesday yet? Wednesday's over. All right, is it Thursday yet? Is it Thursday yet?
I was at a training at 9 a.m. and I was like, is it 8 p.m. yet? It needs to be done.
Can we get this day over with, please?
And I leave this campus now.
And even if I'm not feeling it, like I come in and these guys just kind of pick me up and we get going, and it's always fun regardless of how aggravated I get in the middle.
No matter how much I yell at Dom, shut up, I'm trying to talk.
Right.
Yes.
Like anybody does that for me, Double standard right here on Top Rope. We're gonna work on that too. It's like as a chemistry, we get comfy, But I mean, it's just like, I got to give it up to Bruce for starting all this. Like I said,
yes, Bruce.
If it weren't for him, there would be none of this. And as long as he wants to do these shows or keep this group going, I'm going to be with him. This is the 2-man power trip right here on this side of the screen. If it stays that way, and we're just going to run shit like Stone Cold and Triple H. We're just going to run over everybody and take every title and dominate. It's going to be great. I'm looking forward to it. Wendy is definitely a special case because like I wanted her to come to Top Rope when it was dead, and she was one of the reasons it came back to life, along with Hope and Jose and eventually Evan and everything. But she was one of the first people I added to this group. Like, you have to come here. You have to be a part of this. You're so cool. And we've developed a great friendship from there. Like, shoot, because nobody knows this. If you saw my video at Top Rope, or if you saw me wearing the all-inclusive Culture City AEW autism shirt, I had Wendy ask me about it one day, and I was like, I'd love to get it, but I'm broke. And she asked me again, and I was like, yeah, I can't. I'm broke. Like, these times are hard, And all of a sudden one day I heard, there's something coming to you in the mail. I'm not going to tell you what it is. I was like, okay. And I get it, and I open it up, and there's the shirt I was wearing in the video in Top Rope today on this episode, the Culture City AEW autism shirt. And I'm just like, really? Because you just, you don't expect somebody to be like that good to you or that kind to you, especially like these days. And then when somebody is, you're like, man, I'm gonna hold on to that person till the day that I die, and I plan on that. And meeting Jose through her was another gift I probably didn't deserve. And then, of course, as I said to him before we started this recording, like, Evan being one of our first true fans of this show made us want to do this show more. And then when we got him to come on, we had so much fun with him. And then he started designing these logos for us, and we were like, man, we don't deserve this shit, but thank you. I wish I could pay you, but I'm broke, but thank you. And then
to be here,
eventually we got him to come on and be a part of this, be a part of the show, be a part of the Facebook group and Twitter and everything that we do. And since then, like, it's just made something good even better. And so I'm grateful for each and every one of you, even the hobo clown. Even if he's not on the show anymore, I'm still grateful for him because he was here and he helped us bounce back. He did a lot of work for us, from when we all came together, like Bruce talked about in the beginning.
And he boots the Muppets for us.
And he boots Muppets, which is always nice. Yes, thank you. And thank you to everyone in Top Rope.
At the door.
Thank you to everybody in Top Rope Nation, the guys in this live thread right now.
Yes.
Like,
all the fans out there. All the watchers.
It's so crazy when you see somebody say like, oh yeah, people do this in other groups, but not at Top Rope. Or somebody on Twitter actually randomly recommended us to a wrestling fan who was looking for a Facebook group that does live discussions and that kind of stuff. And when I saw the ad, and I just thought, wow, like, people really think we're that good. And I didn't. I just thought we were a group. Like we do things our way, or we with the show, with whatever. But we're
doing it right, apparently. Mm-hmm.
And then when you see people like actually recommending us or saying, this is the best thing in wrestling right now. Like I love coming to this group.
Words.
I look forward to all the kind words and all this stuff. You're just like, I don't know if I deserve this right now. Like you guys think I'm great. I don't even think I'm this great. Thank you.
All right, you guys, enough sappiness. I just got reprimanded and told there is no crying in wrestling, which is not true. All right.
There is. There's no
a lot
hugging.
Of crying in wrestling.
There's a lot of crying. There's no hugging.
Yeah.
So much. A lot of hugging too.
Yeah, if you're best friends.
Fucking A right, we are.
Oh, which we are. We can hug
kids.
because we are best friends. I'm talking about the tag team, but that's the whole other story. We're not going to get into that
tag team
tonight. We just want to thank everybody that's watched this so far, and especially the people that come in group and tune in live to just see us record and follow along and ask questions. You really do bring another layer to this show that we didn't have a few months ago. So thank you. We appreciate that. I'm going to let Brucey drop the social medias because he loves doing that. So fuck it, High Class, take it away.
Do it.
Do it.
Listen, you're watching live right now. Come check us out on Facebook. If we shared this and you're not in the Facebook group and you're watching this, come to Top Rope Wrestling Talk on Facebook. We are a publicly traded group. I'm getting good at this. Listen, you can also find us on Twitter at Top Rope WT. We're very active on there. We get shit done. We talk to people. Obviously, we got people talking about us because they're sharing us on Twitter.
Right.
Love it. Then you can find us on the gram. Here we go. This is the goodie. This is the tough
money
one.
Maker right here.
You can find us at top_rope_wrestling_talk on Twitter. On Instagram.
IG.
And also, I get to finally plug this at the end of every show. Buy our merch.
Buy it.
Doesn't it look good?
Go to Sugar Pop Design on Facebook. I'm working on linking our groups together because my sister has a page and linking our group, and that way you'll be able to go in Top Rope and just click on Sugar Pop Design as a linked group, and it'll bring you right to her Facebook. You can go on, pick your logo, whatever you want, order your shirt. She'll make it. She'll ship it to you. She'll make it with love, and you'll have your merch. Oh yeah, I believe she can do hats as well, and she does coffee mugs. That we just found out. So if you want a coffee mug with your favorite logo from Top Rope Wrestling Talk, and you want to bring that to work and display it on your desk, please do get the word out. And that's all. Oh, YouTube. Holy Jesus. How did I forget YouTube?
For everybody watching.
Well, that's our podcast stuff. The podcast stuff I can plug because I think I remember.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, Grandma.
You can find us at YouTube, as Brucey said here, as Big Papa Brucey said. You can find us on YouTube. We are Fox 10 Productions, which is a whole slew of things. So it's us, it's Drunk Upon a Time, it's the Mutant Rejects, and sometimes it's Drunk Upon a Top Rope.
Yeah.
We don't know when it's going to happen.
Maybe this weekend, we don't know.
Beautiful faces. You can also find us on anchor.fm/Top Rope WT.
TRWT.
Oh, TRWT. My bad. My bad. You can find us at anchor.fm/TRWT. There you can find us on all podcast platforms. Apple.
Almost hit your husband in the face.
iHeartRadio. All of it, huh?
All of it.
You almost knocked your husband out.
Yeah, he's used to it by now. He's used to it.
He enjoys that.
Yeah.
His mom gave me permission before we got
king
married.
shaming.
It's okay.
Oh, okay.
No
you can
king
find
shaming.
us everywhere, wherever you listen to your podcasts.
Find us, yes.
Yes, find us. Listen to us while you're jogging, while you're visiting your dealer, while you're
in the drive-thru,
while you're on the road,
while you're out for a jog, while you're working,
while you're filling out those 1014 forms in the office. While you're social
while
distancing.
You're in the closet with your belt, be sure you got your spotter though.
Yes, in the closet, good reverberation in there. Listen.
Yes, listen to us.
The acoustics are
amazing.
amazing.
Beautiful, majestic voices. Voices of angels.
Yes.
We
in
really
the shower,
do.
listen to us in the shower, listen to us on the toilet, everywhere.
Everywhere. Fucking everywhere.
I love even Nikki saying all the merchandise is made with love. So I want to put that in there too.
Extra love.
Of course.
Extra love.
Extra love is squeezed.
It's worn with as
every
much love.
shirt.
And we're going to have eventually like multiple colors. We're going to be able to put stuff on the sleeves. You can pick logos. You can really play with it a little bit. So it's going to be fun stuff. It's going to be fun.
And we'll have sexier models than me. Don't worry.
And we're working behind the scenes on all 4 of us having our own individual shirts as well. So you can buy your favorite host shirt.
Yes. Eventually, you'll be able to get your jack of all trades, master of absolutely none shirt.
They're so comfy. It feels like I'm wearing nothing at all. Wow.
It's all coming soon. As soon as we can.
Is this? I love it.
Actually, is comfortable. I have been wearing this.
I'm gonna live in this shirt. I think.
I think Evan's on ecstasy. He's like, "Wow, you feel this fabric?"
I'm celebrating our birthday.
Oh my God!
I'm being sniffed and everything.
But yes, and again, thank you guys. Thank you guys for showing up. Thank you guys for sticking around. Thank you for the first 2 years. We're hoping for at least 2 more and beyond. We will catch you soon. I mean, maybe we'll put together a Drunk Upon a Top Rope special for the weekend. It just depends on where the guys are around. Maybe we'll come back to you sooner, but definitely next week you will see us. And make sure to follow us again on Fox 10. Subscribe to us. Hit that bell, so that way you're the first one to know when goofy shit like this comes up. And
the bell.
And no matter what, when you see our stuff come up, share it around too. Let people know we're here. We're doing our thing.
Yes.
We're pretty damn.
If
good
my mom
at
can
it.
share it, you can share it too.
Yes, and thanks again, Mama B. I don't know if you're still watching, but thank you so much for sharing our stuff and for just being there for us. You're awesome.
Just loving
too.
us. Just being proud.
We love you, Mama B. Thank you, guys. We will catch you by next week at least. But for now, from everybody, stay safe out there. Happy 2 years. And of course, Grandma Wendy has to lead us out with
Stay fresh, cheese bags.
There it is. See you later, guys.
Sim Squad Fly Boys, that's my logo. You already know though. It's PBS and Nation Gang. My niggas getting dodo. You pussy niggas, Frodo's fucking hobos looking so-so. Okay, shot in slow-mo, haters salty like adobo. But Coco, we get loco. Hit them cashin', so no. You rap it, then we live it, cause we Stokely on the promo. We classy, Freddy, blasty, bitches, why you acting sassy? Can't stop and I won't stop. Guess I'm Diddy to your Cassie. No shiny suits, I'm spazzy. Ashy, I'm so flashy. Talking out your ass, goddammit, I'm just speaking cash shit. Haters get the shake it like they mama named the cash shit. Father, all these rap wrestlers pay homage to me, bastards. Sorry, I don't claim you. That's just what this fame do. Oh, you ain't down with